I put up there, debate me. What have black women done to black men? Hey, how you doing, Bianca? What if, and this can be a debate if anybody has any type of, factual evidence to prove, what have black women done to black men or to the black community that is worse than what black men have done and are currently doing? Number two, I wanted to talk about, these things that I keep seeing. I just saw a live right now where they're discussing black women being the least desirable. I want to know where do we get this thing that black men are the most desired? Are black men the most desired, or are they the most delusional? Because at this point, all of the slander that I keep seeing is really, it's out of control. And I find nobody actually trying to attack these thought processes from a fact-based perspective. No one's doing that. And, I really think that the way to keep people from living in delusion is to give them facts. Not to just attack them and say they're stupid or they're unattractive or whatever, personal attacks. I really do think that somebody needs to speak on this topic to where they actually talk about things that are tangible. You know what I'm saying? Number three, I want to talk about these virtual, you see it, L words of black women. And when I say that, I mean, anytime, people perceive black women to have done something, or they don't like what they said, or they think that they are, standing up for themselves too much, you notice it seems like the whole world just, unites and then starts destroying those women, even though while the other non-black women are able to do whatever they want. I think the reactions to Alondria and Shelly, if anybody has watched Love Island, is a perfect example of that. How those black women were treated for doing nothing. Thanks so much for the galaxy. I think that if you can see how those women were treated versus the woman that actually was the villain, and how her fans were and the things that people have said and the excuses that were made for her, it's a very clear double standard when it comes to black women. Like, honestly, I don't understand how if anybody could even watch just the clips and things that you see here about Love Island on TikTok and you can't understand that, what I'm trying to say, that it's a very large double standard in how much grace is given to other races of women that is never extended to black women ever. I have never seen a breakup on a first date. I'm on a last date in my life, which should let y'all know that this lady was showing her whole butt crack. But for some reason, everybody managed to make the black women public enemy number one. And this is what I mean. And I wanted to say, and that goes into number 5, that no one cares about black women unless they can get something out of them. And if you cannot get something out of black women, I mean, even if you can get something out of them, you don't care. But sometimes people pretend to care or pretend to think that act like something matters, like black women matters. And I think a perfect example is what I've seen this past weekend with all of these black men, talking about the situation of the young lady unaliving her black woman manager at McDonald's, and all the black men talking about it, and also talking about that lady that unalived her, I guess, boyfriend, ex, whatever, baby daddy at the barbershop. It just lets you know that no one cares, really. The only time they will even pretend to care if they can still find some way to weaponize the situation against black women. Hey, how you doing, Gabrielle, sis? But yeah, so anywho, I'm hoping that I can actually get some men to come in to have a debate with as far as, what black women have done to black men or done to the black community that is worse than what black men have done or are currently doing. Because the reason why I asked this question is because I'm seeing all these lives, like the minute I open my eyes or after I get on, I wake up and I start scrolling to see what's going on TikTok. The next thing you know, all I see is all of these lives discussing about black women being undesirable, being the least desired. No one's liking their personality. No one's liking this, that, and the third. Black women are so, dangerous and all of these things. And my thing is that where are you guys getting this information from? Like, where is the information coming from? What legitimately are black women doing that would make you say that they are the least desirable or that they're doing all of these things in the black community? You know what I'm saying? And I wish that I could have a conversation with someone that could speak, from a fact-based perspective about it, because this is honestly getting out of hand. I'm getting tired of it. So right now, I'm just trying to see if I can get some people in to talk about it, because if we're talking about statistics, right? Black women aren't doing anything to the black community, and a matter of fact, I'm going to start giving some numbers and statistics right now, because I feel like that the majority of the people that have these conversations are already uneducated. That it is what it is. They just are. But if anybody, any men specifically, well, women can come too. But I would love to have a debate with the man where you give me stats, numbers, and facts on what have black women done to black men that puts them in danger currently, that they're doing to them currently. What have they done to the black community historically? What have they done that black men haven't done a million times plus worse and are not doing actively right now? That's what I would love to know. Let's see. I'm about to Chrissy J says, if black women are violent because of the McDonald's situation, then black men are violent for the same stuff at Amazon. Let me tell you something, Chrissy. That is just one. There are literally black men unaliving themselves and us every single solitary day, statistically. And I'm about to give y'all some numbers today. That way, we could get a better understanding of exactly what's going on, and that all of this stuff is projection. It's all projection. Let's see here. Let's see here. Let's see here. I'm about to get up in here and give y'all some good numbers. Now, I want to say this is that the leading cause of, unaliving among young black men is, the leading cause of, you not being here on the planet Earth anymore is schmamicide. And, in 80 to 90% of the cases, the person was unalived by first of all, a black person, 90% of the time. And 95% of the time plus, the person that was unalived by a man, specifically a black man. So my thing is that what really are we talking about when we talk about numbers and statistics and who's doing what? And I would love for a man, I will allow you to speak for 3 minutes uninterrupted. If you can tell me what have black women done to black men or to the black community that is worse than what black men have done and are doing currently. And y'all, I'm sorry, I'm trying to get some more numbers here, because I feel like it's always good to give y'all numbers. Let's see here. And I just want another thing for y'all to know is that black women and black girls have had the second highest schmamicide rate increase from 2019 to 2020. And do you know who comes first to that? It's black men. They're the ones above us. And do you know who's doing these schmamicides? It is black men. So once again, where can you point me to all of these reasons why you would say that black women are undesirable or they're this, that, and the third? What are we actually doing? Huh? Because I know that the majority of black men that are in relationships with black women are not the breadwinner. They're either not the breadwinner at all or they're a co-breadwinner. So, and black women working amongst their men being a co-breadwinner is the highest in black households. So it's not that black women aren't giving y'all a chance, even though you don't have anything to offer them. So what exactly are you doing? Hey, how you doing, Coach Steve? But yeah, I really want to talk about this, and hopefully I can find somebody that is willing to debate this topic. And it's funny that I'm not getting anybody in here to debate this topic, but everywhere I look, y'all are online talking about black women and saying that they ruin the black community. And, I never see what exactly it is that you're talking about. There's even a study that, black women are mostly always unalived by men. And most of the time, nearly always are unalived by someone that they know. And most of the time, that someone that they know is a black man. Do you know that these numbers are not the same when it is compared to you? So I would think that you would understand that if you could just look at these things, that who's really ruining the black community? I don't understand. I don't. And when you say that black women are at a higher risk of unaliving, of schmamicide than any other race of woman. And the same thing mirrors the men as well who are doing the same thing. So I wish that I could find somebody that was having an actual, an actual real conversation about this, and I'm looking here in like an article about Canada. These same things are actually going on in Canada as well. As far as black men and their violence against the women in their community, it literally happens everywhere. Everywhere. And the femicide rate as well. This isn't just a U.S. thing. This is a thing wherever black men reside. And so I don't understand, why because I was reading this article about Canada, and they were talking about how black people are overrepresented among schmamicide victims. And the majority, of course, are black men committing those acts as well. So in what world, are we ever going to be able to fix anything if people keep pointing the finger at black women when it's not black women? If you're pointing the finger at the person that's not doing anything, how are you going to ever fix it? I don't understand it. And also, the people that are doing it act like they Stevie Wonder to what's going on. But if they find these isolated incidents, and I know that they can talk about it, because if they couldn't talk about it, they wouldn't instantly, when they feel like they have something that they can bash black women about, they wouldn't get on and do a live about that. They will talk about something else, but they don't. So I don't know. It's disgusting. And, I don't know. I'm hoping, you guys, that I can, like I said, actually get some people in here to discuss it. But we'll see. We'll see. Oh, I see y'all coming up.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey,
All
hey,
right,
Coach C. Yes.
listen. Basically, to what you got right there. Can you make the screen bigger again?
Look, how? Just one second. Let me. How do I do that now? You said make it bigger. I thought it was already bigger. Let me see
All
if I
right.
can switch it off. Can you see it?
Yeah, I can see it better now.
Okay.
So basically, what I gotta say to this is, I don't agree with this because it's all of this B BW versus BM is only on the internet. You don't see this in real life because there's a lot of successful and positive relationships out here. But on the internet, y'all be focused on the negatives. But maybe y'all just doing it for views and 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 shit like that. But like, it's a lot of happy families out here. It's a lot of happy, relationships and all that. And there's some bad ones too. I ain't gonna pretend like that don't exist. But we need to focus on the positive instead of the negatives all the time. That's all I gotta say.
Okay, so I just want you to know that statistically, what you're saying is not true. Black women are the most at risk of being unalived, the most at risk of being raped, very high levels of all of these type of things. So these things are not just happening online. Black women are 6 times more likely to be unalived. Black women make up 10% of the female population, yet they make up 59 to 60% of all unalivings of women. There's a black woman, 5 to 6 of them unalived every single solitary day, and 95% plus of the time it's a black man doing it. So I really need you to understand that just because it's not affecting you directly, that it is a real thing, and that there are things going on, and that there is a big risk factor for black women. So I mean, so you can feel how you want to feel, respectfully, but the numbers don't prove your point of what you're saying, that there isn't a problem. Yes,
You
and
see
yeah.
the
And
whole, huh?
Oh no, go ahead, Dre. I was about to respond to this guy in the comments. Just one second, and then I'm gonna let you speak. I'll reset your time. Your
All
name
right.
is in the comments. MLI85. You said that black women are unaliving from heart disease and diabetes. I just need you to understand something. Like, I really wish that y'all would be educated when y'all speak, but black men have the poorest health in the United States, way far poorer than black women. That's a fact. That's not my feelings. It's not an opinion. It's a fact. If you don't believe me, please go look it up. Black men have the poorest health, the poorest health outcomes, and the shortest life expectancy. So the last person you should be talking direct to that energy to black men and figuring out why they don't go to the doctor and get checked out, because black women's life expectancy is pretty good. So yeah, I'm gonna need you to figure that out. So everything that you said applies way more to black men than black women. Thanks. I hope you understand that. Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. Go ahead. Let me reset your time, Dre.
All right,
Go
and
ahead.
what I gotta say to that, you said basically like it's a lot of unalivings in the black relationships. It's a lot of you know what I'm saying, domestic violence and all that. But like it's a lot of genuinely good guys. I'm talking about not the ones who try to be good to get something and like be manipulated. I'm talking about genuinely, and
Dre.
y'all
Dre.
don't mess with them types of guys. You
No,
know
you
what
have
I'm
to
saying?
ask. You have to ask the guys that. You have to ask the women that. Excuse me. You can't say that there's a lot of good guys out there. There are good guys that will be good guys to you because you're their homie, but they won't be good guys to girls. So unless you date men, you don't know. You can't speak on if these men are good guys to women or not, and you can't speak to why women are overlooking men. You have no idea because you don't date men unless you do. Now, if you date men, then that's a different situation. But I don't think that you do. So if you don't, then you can't say. You can't say what's going on with these women. You can't say how these men are treating these women. The same reason why when women are getting the brakes beat off of them, people, their friends, their homies say, I didn't know. I didn't know he was that type of man. He was good to me. We were homies. So you can't say that because you don't know.
You know what? You right about that, but at the same time, you can't say that I'm completely wrong because you know I got a lot of sisters. You know what I'm saying? So it's
Are
like
all your sisters married?
huh?
Are all your sisters married?
No, no,
Okay,
they all
so
in their 20s.
okay, do any of your sisters have children?
One of them do.
Okay, so there's one instance right there. You can speak in your sister. She's been impregnated with no husband and then been left a single mother.
Hey, don't do that. Don't talk about my
No, I'm
sisters
not.
like
I
that.
can do that, and I will do that because you're over here talking about something
Yeah,
that you don't know about. Okay, you have a great day. I didn't drop that man. He left. Like it's like y'all want to say all of these things, but when people speak to you with like facts and ask you a question, it's like, what are we talking about here? You said that all of these good black men are out there. You know them all. You got sisters. You brought up your sisters in an example to say how they're good black men out there. But then when I ask you what's going on, you tell me that your sister's a single baby mama. So what are we really talking about? If the men were so great, why didn't they marry your sister? Why did whoever that black man was impregnate her and leave her alone? I really need to know. Like she's a single mother, sir. If she doesn't have a husband, and you just said she doesn't have a husband, so what are you talking about? She is single. You single till you marry. What you talking about? I know when I was dating, I told my husband that off the rip. I said, I'm single until I marry, baby. I like that's I don't got a ring on my finger. So, anywho, let me just keep going here because you got to, and this is my thing is that when talking to them and debating with them, they never have any type of stats or facts to come with. All they come with is anecdotal experiences and also, but the black men's is good. It's good. They're good. The black men's is good. I don't know what you're talking about. Stop lying on us. And then when I give them facts and statistics, they have no comeback for it because they're grossly uneducated. And I really don't know what else to say. But let me go first to Miss Moore and then Gabrielle.
I want to say, I want to point out how long this been going on. It's kind of spooky. I want to know how deep is the hatred for us for them because it's like, damn, you know. And with me, I go back to Cain and Abel. I don't know for some reason he was just jealous of Abel. Abel was doing what he was supposed to do, the spark, whatever, black women. And I know Abel was a boy, but it's like that's how long it seemed like it's been going on. And you even look at like places like the DRC. They make so much money over there. They don't own none of it, but they're hurting SA and their women. It's shooting them in the vajayjay instead of you stopping these people from taking from the land. You buying your land from these people and they're dripping you out of your land. But instead of you worried about that, you hurting us. it's just so deep. It's so deep and it's so scary. And I'm so glad that it's finally getting some attention because it's been going on way longer than than us black women realize. And we don't know what to do. These are our babies. Um, but unfortunately, it's like you gotta choose you or yourself. Cause baby, them bodies are real, and it's scary. And forget all that trying to keep it together. Forget, I don't care about keeping us together. Forget that. We unwed, poverty ridden, all this unaliving and stuff they're doing. It's not even no point. We so backed up because worried about the wrong shit, and we just black women so tired. We got all these responsibilities. We got the kids, we got the bills, we got all this, and we trying to keep our sanity. And his goal is just to try to destroy us as much as he possibly can. And I'm just like, damn, how deep, how long, and why? And if so, we have to accept it. We can't. And then you got the ones in the comments like, yeah, I agree, you niggas is, but you are too. You got the ones trying to pretend like they're not a part of it, or they're these righteous people, but once again, their fingers is empty. You know what I mean? And it's spooky. It's sad, and we really need to. We really, 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 black women, y'all really gotta wake up. We really have to wake up because it's so dangerous, and it's just scary. It's scary, and I want to know how deep. And if it is, we just have to accept it. We have to accept it, black women, and that's so messed up, but we have to accept it. Mm, It's yeah, I don't know. Damn.
All right, all right, all right. Let me go down here to Miss Gabrielle.
Yeah, hey, Triggered. I just want to respond to the guy who was up here, even though he dropped, because I honestly was not even shocked that he did not have anything intelligent to say. And like you said, he was just giving anecdotes. And like, even the anecdotes didn't support the point he was trying to make because he admitted that his sister was dealing with a guy and yet she wasn't married and was thus a single mom. So even he ironically disproved his own point. But I really, and this is just my opinion, but I don't think that there are going to be very many guys who can come up here and like actually give statistics like you were doing. I know you said you were looking at some articles earlier. I don't think that BM who talk about BW like this, I don't think that they are intelligent. I don't think that literacy is their strong point, and I don't think they have the intellect to actually take the time to look at data and put two and two together and come up with a well-informed point. Like I just don't think they can do it. Like PG 1908 said, I do think that he just wants to be combative, and, try to make a point. And he's like, oh, this is all online and it's not in the real world. I hate when people say that because it's like what people are posting online, those are real people. They're not all just bots, because some people are going to say, oh, they're just bots, trying to manufacture division. And maybe that's true for a percentage of it, but I would say the majority of it is real BM, real males in general who are saying this stuff online, congregating in these like manosphere red pill spaces, stuff online, congregating in these like manosphere red pill spaces, and they're going out into the real world and interacting with and harming real women. So this whole, oh, it's just online. The internet is not real life. It kind of is real life because it has real life consequences. And the part where he said, oh, there's so many great guys. No, there are not. Like there's so, like you were saying, like a lot of times men will say stuff like, oh, I never suspected my friend could do that. And then a lot of times like a man will be friends with another man, but then when that other man is like dating, say his sister or something, that guy will get like really pissed off and like, why are you dating my sister? When I was like younger, I want to say like a teenager, like I used to throw me a little bit because it's like, if you're friends with this guy, why are you mad about your friend dating like your sister or like a woman in your family? But then as I got older, I'm 27 right now. Now I understand that it's because a lot of times men know that their friends are not good people, because if you are friends with a guy and you know that he is someone who is respectful to women and good to women, you wouldn't have an issue with him dating like your sister, your cousin, whatever. But these men, they know they're not good people, and I just have to keep saying that because, like I said, I've seen how they talk about women in these online spaces, and yet when we as BW, when we as women come together and talk about this stuff, all of a sudden it's just a minority of men who are bad. All of a sudden they don't know any bad guys. Like these guys know who they are, they know what they're doing. And I know that they know because when women will also call out male bad behavior in some cases, sometimes they'll come online and say, oh, that's just the nature of men. Like, oh, it's just the nature of men to cheat. It's just the nature of men to do that. So it's like they know they're not good people. And as far as the BM in particular, who are trashing BW online and making it sound like we're the cause of all the issues in the BC, these are not intelligent men. Like, I'm going to say, I think like 99% of them who are talking like this online do not have the capacity to read books about the issue, to, do statistical research, to, get any kind of facts together. And even the anecdotes that they put out to try to, be combative and, push back against the points we're making, even those don't support their case. So I just wanted to say that because the guy who came up here, like, none of what he said was shocking to me, unfortunately.
All right, all right, all right. Thank you, Gabrielle. I wanted to say this real quick in response to what you said. Oftentimes in talking to black men, and asking them to debate me, they very rarely have any type of, like actual factual stats to come at me with, because what I'm saying is the truth. It's not actually bashing because it's actually a fact. When I talk about the fact that black men have poor emotional regulation and cannot control themselves as a collective, of course, this isn't every black man, but as a collective, if you look at the numbers of black women that are unalived, like I said before, black women are anywhere from 6 to 10 times more likely to be unalived by a man, which is in 95% of cases by a black man, 6 to 10 times more likely to be unalived than any other race of woman, right? I've already said that. I already said that black women make up 10% of the female population, but make up 59 to 60% of all unalivings of women. When you look at actually unaliving violence, the most of the time a black woman is unalived, she's unalived by a pew pew. And nearly 2/3 of non-felony schmomicides involved arguments with a black woman and a black male. And he has decided to, within the course of that argument, unalive her. And I want to say in another stat, it says 56% of black women, when they have had these arguments in a domestic situation as well, they have been unalived by a black man. They were shot and unalived with pew pews. And there are a whole bunch of other different stats and facts on this that shows. And there's another study as well. And I don't mind posting any of these things for y'all. Also, when you can say, when people, there are black men that try to say like, oh, black women do it too. It's black women doing it too. The majority of all violent crimes are committed by men, by far. The majority of all unalivings are committed by men by far. Like, I think it's like in the United States, it's like 89.5% to 90.1%, something like that. It's a very, very, very high margin. So when you look at the situations, if black men want to compare themselves to black women, a black woman is far more likely to be unalived by her spouse, by an intimate partner, by an ex, by somebody that she knows, by a family member. Black men don't have those same risk factors unless you are comparing their risk factors to other black men. Now, they do have an increased risk of being unalived by a black man. So that would mean that black men were not only our predators, but also theirs as well. But once again, all of these things I say to say is that why are all these topics on TikTok being talked about, how black women are destroying the black community, when it's not us, statistically, factually? But I'm gonna go down here to Tyreek real quick and see what he has to say, and then I'm gonna get up there to you, Coach T, because I don't think that it's going to be long with Tyreek. But go ahead, Tyreek. I set your time up. If you came up here to debate me, you can.
Oh, I'm not debating you. I didn't ever say I was debating you.
Oh no, I just put that at the top. You know that was the title of the thing today. But is there something you wanted to say then?
No, I was just actually, responding to someone in the comments. That's all. When they said something about black men been something in since music videos or something like that, like rappers. I said black women also. It's both.
Okay, but that's not true though. And that's what I'm saying. Like you have to actually like look at what the history. Gangster rap music came out in the 80s. That was the first genre of music that was extremely degrading to not only black women, but also to black men as well, encouraging to get into all type of violence and criminality. It wasn't black women too. That was black men that started that and were doing that. That was NWA. That was Easy E. That was Ice T. That was Ice Cube. That was Dr. Luke. That was Two Live Crew. There was no black women doing it on that level. When there were black women that were in that era too, they weren't rapping about that. They weren't rapping and degrading black men. They were not. They were not saying that black men were only worth what is between their legs and calling them 304s and luts and B words and all of these things. That was black men that started that. And that has a historical context to it. It's not like that's my opinion. It's a fact. So I find it very, disconcerting that when black women say, hey, no, black men started these things, there's always a black women did too. And it's never the truth. It's never true. And it's never rooted in any type of reality. Because,
So
yeah.
so black men, right? So if you look at the times when Luke made his music, right? No one told these women to actually start being in these videos, being
Well, it
like
has nothing to do with what you just said, though. You said that black women did it too as far as starting the music and doing it. They did not. They
that's not
did
what I'm
not.
saying,
Black men started this.
ma'am. I was responding to someone in the comments. They said black males degraded their own image for hip hop. The same thing was done as far as women in hip hop as well,
What?
and
What?
in the
What?
music
What?
videos, they did it to themselves as well.
How is that? That doesn't make any sense to me, and I'll tell you why. It's
Again,
just
she
like
said
if you
black
have white.
males
It's like when
degraded
you
their
had
own
white tea
image for hip
people.
hop.
If you have white tea people, right, that they did back in the day, they had white tea people that made movies, and then they put black people in it and had them tap dance and soft shoe. When people say, "Oh, well, the black people participated," but it's like the white tea people are the ones that created the medium to degrade black people.
And I
So
believe that.
without
That's
black
true.
men
Right.
creating the medium, which is the degrading music to encourage black women to get in there, it wouldn't be there. Now, I'm not saying that those black women were not crazy for degrading themselves for black men, but once again, when you create a genre of music and you create a culture to degrade and brainwash an entire collective of women to tell them that they are nothing and they are only worth what is between their legs, some women, unfortunately, are going to internalize that and feel like that's okay and it's cute and it's
I
cool.
agree. I definitely agree with that. I do believe that, and I'm not denying that. So I understand your argument where you're coming from. I'm not going to say that I don't believe that, but it's both, and I get what you're saying. You get what I'm saying? Those
Yeah.
people come from a dark place, and if they're going to coon for money, then it is what it is. I have an issue with that also. So
But
that's
it's
why I
not
said
both. It's not both. It's not both.
it's,
And
it's
the fact that you keep saying that's what's blowing me because it's not both. Without
listen.
black
I'm not
men,
going.
none of this exists. Without black men starting it, without black men selling out their own, without black men being bottom feeders and having no morals, it never would have occurred. They would have never been able to do what they do. And even if you don't care about black women, the rap and all of the stuff that I'm just talking about is the reason why there are countless men that are no longer here on planet Earth or are in prison and will never see the light of day again. That is strictly comes from black men and what they have allowed to do and have sold themselves out and us as well. So I don't know what to say.
Yeah, I think black men and black women sold themselves out as well. It's
Black
not.
women didn't sell anyone out that ruined the black community. Tell me what black women have done that you can back up with facts that ruined the black community in the ways that black men have.
A lot
Please
of
tell
black
me.
rap. There's a lot of black women rappers out here that are no good as well.
Okay, once again, I just said who started the wave of the music? Who
Oh,
curated the culture? Who started the culture? Who started influencing
no
everybody
one
about
and
these?
no one held the pew pew to these black women also. So what are
Excuse
we
me.
what are we
Once
saying?
again, black men started it. Do you believe black men are leaders or no? Do you
Yes,
believe
I
black men
believe
are
a lot
supposed
of
to
them
lead or
are.
no?
A lot of black men are leaders.
Do you believe that black men are supposed to be the leaders?
Yes, I believe that.
Okay, so if you believe that black men are supposed to be the leaders, that's a personal
Every
ideology
black
that you
every
have.
black
Then
man is
why are
not a
you
leader though.
then why are you
Every
avoiding
black every
accountability?
black man
But
is
that's
not a
what you
leader.
believe. But that's what you believe. So
Listen to
since
what
you
I just
believe that,
said.
okay, I got
Listen to
you.
what I just
All right, let
said.
me
Can I
move
add?
forward.
Can I add? Can I add to something? How y'all doing,
Wait,
everybody? I
you
hope
gotta
y'all having
wait,
a blessed
mind. Then I
day.
gotta get up here to Coach T first. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Coach T. If you have something to say, sis, because I didn't get to you yet.
Yeah, I'm here. Trigger. Hey, good morning, everybody. Good morning, Trigger. Thank you for the space as always. And the usual suspect, what we usually suspect them of. So I just wanted to bring my point of view and my perspective to the conversation, which we really don't talk about. Is about, can you make your prompt bigger, Trigger, so I can refresh my brain on how I was
Yeah,
framed?
tell me how to do that.
I have no idea. Just right now, you in a small box, so you're not in the big box.
Okay, let me see. Well, let me see.
Um,
Okay, I'll just tell you what the topics say while I look. It just says
I
debate.
think I remember. Oh, you see the big box? This is my journey. Okay, it must just be my phone then. Okay, then don't worry about it. I'm gonna just say what I want to say. I think that a piece of the conversation that's always missing, that I will always advocate for and speak up for young black girls and even young black boys, is that we're always having these conversations in the frame of a context of like romantic relationships, which is one aspect of it. And I understand why people frame the conversation from that way, because that's always the conversation, like black men and black women need to be together and be married and stuff. But we forget that the ultimate outcome of these relationships are children. And ultimately, as children, we're the ones who have to suffer when we have these so-called inadequate males, or even inadequate fathers and mothers in our lives. And so I don't understand when we have these conversations, especially the choose better conversation, or black women are doing this to black men, and but what are black men doing to their children? Why are they abandoning their children? If you're so-called being kept away from your children, why, when those children turn 18, don't you attempt to reconcile with them? Why, when those children are adults and they have their own children, why aren't you trying to be a grandparent to those children? It's always so self-centered, and it's a very selfish conversation where you have black men who talk about, oh, well, these women need to choose better, or basically the women should choose me and have a child with me. But they never talk about how they're equipped to help to cultivate these kids, or to help rear these children to be healthy human beings, or to come up in loving and supportive environments. And it's always pushed off as, well, the mother kept them away, or the mother this, or the mother that. Okay, yes, but children, if you think about your life, your childhood is important, but it's a very small part of your life. Like, you're a child for what seems like forever to you, but if you live to be at least 40 or 50, you've been an adult for a longer time than you've been a child. Why aren't there any parents, fathers of adult children that you've abandoned in childhood? Why aren't you able to reconcile with your children in adulthood? Why aren't you showing up for these children when they are adults? Why aren't you making that effort? Where's that? When is that happening? And it's not happening. And so all of this to me is just a lot of bloviating, and it's a lot of peacocking, because it just says to me that black men, as always, they don't care about the community. They only care about themselves. They only care about how they feel. They only care about what somebody did. They perceive somebody did to them. They are never responsible for how they show up, when they show up, where they show up, or why they show up.
All right, all right. I appreciate you, Coach T. I've yet to hear a rebuttal that is actually rooted in facts, coming from a man yet, but hopefully as I keep going, it will happen. So let me go down here to Minding, and then I'll go down to Chrissy J, and then I'll let Tyreek rebuttal. Go ahead, Minding.
Hey, how y'all doing? I hope everybody's having a blessed day, not being too triggered. But so I just came in on like the last part of the conversation where you were having with the young man. And what triggered me to join the conversation was that he refused to recognize the block that black men are supposed to be put on. You're supposed to be the head of the household. You're supposed to lead your family, lead your women in the community, not just in a relationship. We have lost our sense of community as a black American people, because that crack epidemic took out the most important people in the community at that time. You had people that were running businesses, people that were showing the way to the youth. And that crack being introduced into our communities took out two generations of leaders. And so now we're stuck with young men who are looking up to the wrong people. They're looking up to rappers. Everybody wants to be a rapper, a ball player. Everybody wants to be rich and noticed. What happened to being humble and having humility and just caring about the people next to you? I just don't understand how we cannot look at history, take that into account, and just deviate from their plan. They want us to hate each other as people, as black men and women. They do not want us to have any unison. So we are ultimately complying. Whether we know it or not, we are just going right along and there's no fight. It doesn't matter how many discussions we have about this topic. If you do not understand where we came from and why they tore us apart, then we're not going to get anywhere with these conversations. Black women did not start this war. Black men came out of their pocket with the disrespect, the hate. They want to be white men. I'm not saying that personally. I'm just saying as in a hierarchy. They want that position, but they don't understand that they can't have that position outside their community because they don't have it in the community. You cannot expect people outside of your race to respect you when you don't even have no respect for yourself, your women, or the children that are created in our communities. We don't have enough love for each other, and that's why Black women are targeted by our own men and by our own women. It's so hurtful sometimes. And being that I am very sensitive, these conversations touch me in a place of God, because we need each other. And if we don't hold on to each other, they're going to pull us apart.
I think that's already done, minding. But I appreciate your comments. I'm gonna go down here to I think that a lot of times, not
Sugar, I
in
had a
all
question
respect,
for Minding. When she said we, who is we?
We as a people,
yeah,
We as what people?
we as African Americans, Black descendants, Black women, Black people.
So black women need black men and black men need black women?
I absolutely believe that.
Okay, I just wanted to clarify.
Oh yeah. Is that a problem?
Coach T, did you have
Yes,
anything
not
to say,
true.
sir? Did you want to?
Thank you,
Did you?
Mon.
It's
I
not
definitely
true.
Just a
appreciate you
second, all of
saying
you
that.
guys, please don't unmute yourselves. Did you have anything to say in response to that, Coach T?
Oh no, she feel like she need black men. That's
No,
her
no,
business. You
no,
can't tell her
baby.
how to live
No,
her life.
baby. No, no. I don't think you're interpreting that the way that I was reciprocating. It's not a need. Like I need you to walk. It's not
Well,
like that. It's like in the
I just asked you for
community.
clarity, so it really wasn't clear about what you were saying. So when I
Okay.
asked you for clarity, you really didn't clarify what you meant.
Well, that's what I meant. We need each other as a community. I literally said that.
Okay, so if you feel like you need black men in your
No, no, no. I
community,
didn't say I said we as a
but it's
community.
from your point, of view. So you're framing your point of view from your perspective. And if
No, I'm
you
looking at it
think
as a
that you
community.
so if you want black men in your community, that's your perspective. That's all I was saying.
So, do you want white men in your community? I'm confused.
I'm confused on how you are.
Well, where was the answer to the question, though? I mean, did you want white men, or do you don't want no men? I'm clarify that for me.
How are you asking me to clarify your point? You made the
No,
point.
babe.
I asked
No,
for
I'm
clarification,
asking.
and then you didn't
Okay,
And
clarify
I
I
it.
think
said,
okay,
and
I'm
I
gonna
said,
interject between you two. I think that binding. I think that Coach T may be trying to ask you what exactly do you need black men for, and
oh, I
exactly
Well,
want.
she's
what?
saying that
Yeah.
she
Okay.
doesn't need black men. She's saying that black men are needed in the community. So I was trying to clarify, like, what are you talking about? Who are you talking about? And then she's saying, well, no, not me, the community. Well,
No,
what are we talking about?
because you made it seem like I was saying me personally, and I was saying as a community, we need each other. Like I personally believe that we need each other as a community
I just
for
said that. You're
support.
literally just restating what I just said. And then you're saying, no, that's not what I
Oh,
said.
no, you're saying that me personally. I think no. I think
You
that as a
just said,
community,
I
we
personally
need each
think
other.
that we need
We
each
need
other
each
for the
other as
community.
a
And then I
community. Yes.
restated and I said that you
You
feel
said
like you
I
personally need black men in the
independently.
community. And I said,
You were
okay,
saying, yes, I do think
Gabrielle.
that we as a community need each other.
Let me
And I
stop y'all
say
because
that
these
you
dudes have
feel
said
that.
the community, so it's not no point of wanting
Okay,
them to be in the
okay,
community.
okay,
They
okay.
can't build.
Okay. Are you guys have you guys finished our interchange? Coach T.
It's just
Lonnie?
not clear. I'm just trying to get clear because we need to be crystal clear in the words that we're using in the ideas, and we're doing a lot of speaking and abstractions, and we need to be concrete and clear. So if you have a perspective and that's your point of view, claim it and own it, but then don't try to project that onto other black women or a community. What it even is a community? Who is involved in the community? How do people show up in the community? Who benefits from the community? When those questions are being asked, there's a lot of circumventing and there's a lot of talking and there's a lot of ideas, but there's no concrete understanding to be reached. And I'm just trying to reach a concrete understanding. What are you talking about?
What I'm referring to, again, you don't need a man to breathe, but as a community, we need each other. That's
And
it.
who is we? And what do we need each
Are
other
you
for?
are you excluding yourself from the black community?
So
We
who is
need
we?
we need
That's what
black
I'm
women,
asking.
black
Who is
men and
we?
black women again need each other in the community to build, to stay strong, to lead, to love. It's just I
Okay.
don't
All
A
right.
bunch of
Okay. So let me
abstractions that
see.
have no clarity. I still don't have,
Okay.
you still haven't given us clarity or understanding. Nothing.
Okay.
You
like,
just
are you asking for like
talking.
procreation purposes? Like I don't
I'm asking you,
I'm a
I'm
little
literally
confused
asking
at
you,
this
get straight
point.
to the point of what you mean. What do
That
you
is the
mean?
point of what I mean. As a
Okay, you
black
guys.
community, we
Okay,
need
let
each
me
other.
interject here. Okay, so Minding, let me ask you a question. You said that we need black men in the black community. Okay, so let me ask you for clarity. What duties do you think that black men are supposed to be performing that we need them in the black community, or we as black women need them?
We need each other. Again, I'll say that we need each other
Okay,
for
so
for support,
what would we need each other
for
for?
support. We need each other for support, for leadership, for counseling, just being there as a community. I don't think that you can literally just only be around all women and learn something. You can
Okay,
learn from different races, from different sexes, but as a community, as far as black people, African American people, I don't think that us separated or always going at each other is beneficial for us because as you see, we're living in that cycle and it's not doing anything for us. As a
what do you mean? What
people,
cycle?
hate.
Okay,
We're
so
living in a
this is
cycle of hate.
Okay, so let me ask you a question. So, what do you think when you mention like leadership and things like that, and then I tell you the like the stats of like violence, abuse, ex trafficking, that happen to black women,
I
constantly,
do.
consistently,
I
and those
do.
are at the hands of black men, like exactly, and then the other black men that may not be involved in that activity
Hmm.
very rarely speak out about it, but are
Hmm.
very quick to speak about other things that are unrelated, like weaves and lashes and things and submission and things of that nature. So, like, exactly where would we get this, sense of community if the collective, even of the ones that aren't doing anything, don't care about what's occurring with the
Um,
women in the community? Like, how would they lead anything when they never even speak about the things that are actually affecting the black community? And I think that's probably why maybe Coach T had such a visceral reaction to what you said, is that I think that if you claim that black men are supposed to be in some type of leadership position, but they never take accountability for anything that's going on, just like how Tyreek up here, he was not even willing to admit that black men started the whole disrespectful trend of music and is the reason why a lot of black men are unalived right now or in prison. That is a fact. That is not an opinion. That is a fact. But
yes,
he
I
couldn't
definitely
even he
agree.
couldn't even take accountability without saying the women's do it too. What about the women's? Even though that's not true, black women haven't did that. Even like there was some guy in the comments, 6ix9ine or something like that. He's over here talking about Millie Jackson, a black woman that made freaky music, and trying to compare it to a whole genre of music that glorified criminality and abuse, not only against black women, but abuse against other men, and glorified unaliving them, taking things that don't belong to them, which is a problem that we struggle in the black community right now. And it's not a problem that black women struggle with on any notable statistical level, because I like to talk about facts and not anecdotal things or opinions. It's not a problem that black women struggle with statistically. It is a problem that black men struggle with. And the reason why is because that music was curated and created to damage and destroy the psyche of black men. But they never talk about those things. So I don't understand how we could get how any black woman with any sense could even feel comfortable saying she would want the collective of black men to take any type of leadership role when they've never done that, and anything they have tried to do or have been in charge of has been wholeheartedly damaging to the black community. You get what I'm saying? I think that's why she took issue with what she was saying. I don't think it was anything personal.
I know, and I understand, and it's very easy to fall back and say and throw those things out there. And I and on any other day, I am here for that. I am always here for that, because the truth is the truth, and there's nothing wrong with it. But we are dealing with a generation of young men that did not have any leadership other than rap music.
But I think also when you say things like that they didn't have any other leadership outside of rap music, I think that's also a cop out as well. And I'll tell you why I believe that's a cop out, because the same leadership, the same parenting, the same people, the same family structure that was there present for black men was also present for black women. Why is it that black women are the most educated group in America? Why is it that black women statistically work the most out of all races of women? Why is it the fact that black women's incarceration rates have declined since the early 2000s, and now they have lower incarceration rates than white T women in a world where white T women have a lot of privilege? Black women undergo the same environment. Wait a minute, let me finish.
Of their life.
Second. Black women have undergone the same environments that black men have. The difference is that black men choose not to listen. The mothers were very, and also another problem is that people coddle black men. It's even going on right here on this panel right now. It's a coddling and excuse factor being made for black men in their behavior. And that is never given to black women. If a black woman does something wrong, or she's promiscuous, or she has a child out of wedlock, or she has a lot of baby daddies, there's no, we don't know. There was no leadership for her. There was no daddy around. She couldn't help the reason why she made these mistakes and errors. No, it's her fault. She should have did better. She should have known better. That's how everybody comes at it. But everybody wants to coddle and hold black men's hand, but then at the same time, put them into this position where you say they're supposed to be your leader or your king. If they're supposed to do that, then they should be held to a way higher standard than black women are held to. And they're not, which is the reason why black men fail on all levels. They fail on college enrollment. They fail on education. They fail on employment. They fail on valuing family, which is why they're the least married male. All of these things is because we constantly do these things. We constantly ignore these things. We constantly ignore the fact that black women are being not only unalived by them, but they're also unaliving each other at the highest rates out of anyone, out of any other race. So it's like we have to acknowledge these real truths before we can ever acknowledge anything else. But the black men want to do what they want to do because they want to do it. And also because the elder men like Tyreek, and men like the guy 6'9" that was in the comments, older black men, they choose to live in delusion as well. So what they do is they enable the generations behind them to continue to live in delusion as well. That it's everybody else's fault. It's their single mama's fault. It's their daddy's fault. Please don't unmute yourself before I drop you. I'll just drop you if you unmute yourself again. Because I really don't care. I'll just say that these things, once again, are fact-based conversations. The numbers do not lie. And black women and black men, or black girls and black boys, are being raised the exact same way, excuse me. And I also think it's also a cop-out so many times where we talk about how black people don't got no daddies. They don't have no daddies. They don't have no daddies. It's plenty of black people that have daddies and have fathers in their lives. My parents were married. Okay. My father was married to my mama. He was raised in a home with me. You know what I'm saying? I'm an only child though, but I was raised by two parents that were married, a father and a mother. I know plenty of other black people that were as well. And then I know black people who they were not married, but the father was there and present and active. So I think that we've got to stop using this cop out that everybody's daddy wasn't there. And that's the reason why these outcomes are happening. Because it's not true either. And Tyreek, who says what I do for the community, I do plenty for the community. But what I do is I do things for black women. I don't do, and black girls. I don't do things for black men or black boys. That's y'all responsibility. What do I look like trying to talk to black men about anything? If y'all were going to get it together, y'all have already gotten it together. If y'all were going to get it together, y'all wouldn't be putting each other in the dirt. If y'all was gonna get it together, y'all wouldn't, after y'all see that being a rapper is one of the most dangerous professions in the world, that y'all would realize that the energy that y'all put out with that music comes back to you, which is why half the rappers that y'all like are in the dirt and dead and wearing food right now. So why in the world would I ever try to talk to a group of people that do that? I have no idea. It makes no sense. Especially seeing as though, as I said earlier, black women make up 10% of the female population in the United States of America, yet make up 59 to 60% of all unalivings of women. Black women are 6 to 10 times more likely to be unalived by a man than any other race of woman in the United States. And 95% of the time, that is a black man. So the fact to hear black women keep advocating or trying to get some type of, that is a fact. Please fact check me. Please go to Google and use your phone. It's a fact, sir. And I hate it when y'all come in and y'all just say false because y'all don't like to hear the truth. It's the truth. So to hear black women try to make some type of excuse or try to give them some type of out, when a lot of times your main predator or the main person that you would be in danger from is somebody that look like you that has a penis, is wild to me. The fact that you could say, oh, I think they should be leading us. Do you now? Do you? You think that a leadership role is putting you and women that look like you in the dirt? I had a live about black femicide a couple days ago. It was filled up just like this. I think over half of the women spoke about a friend or a relative that had been unalived by a black man, myself included. So to keep acting like these things are isolated incidents, or these things don't really happen, or you don't really know them, or black men aren't really doing that, please stop it. Stop it, stop it, stop it. So I think that's another thing that makes people, maybe that's why Coach T was, had such a reaction to it, because it's like, are you not aware of what's going on? So this whole thing about we need each other, like, when do you see platforms of black men in mass talking about they need black women? Huh? Or are they talking about you nappy headed and you got wigs and weaves on and lashes and that you ran through and that you a single mother and that you this, that, and the third, and that you not submissive and you masculine and white women and Latinas are so much better than you? Like, that's what I'm saying. So what would make you, knowing that that is environment that's curated for you as a black woman, you get up here and talk about how much you need black men to lead you and tell you what to do? And I say this being married to a beautiful, amazing black man. But this desire that black women have to make black men the king and the savior and a leader, when they've already consistently showed you that not only are they incapable of leadership collectively, that they don't want to either. It just is blowing me. But let me go down here to Chrissy, you got something to say, and then I'm gonna go to Chrissy.
Yeah, I needed to look up the definition of the word community, because that's really like a buzzword in certain spaces, like what is it called? Like pro-black spaces, they always community, and it just doesn't make any sense the way that they talk about it. It just logically doesn't make sense, especially in the context of the statistics that we're seeing and the harm that's being done to not just black women, but to children. In the best interest of children, is it in our best interest to be in community with people who are doing those things? So a community is a group linked by a common policy, a body of persons or nations having a common history or common social, economic, and political interests.
Just one second, you guys. I just wanted to respond to Dog 24 Nation. Black women, according to the Labor Department, work more than any other race of women. Yes, they do. They're employed more often. Please check yourself. And number two, Tyreek, nobody was dogging black men. And if you feel like me telling the truth is dogging black men, then I don't know what to tell you. But nothing that I said is not factual. Everything, excuse the hell out of me on my live. All right? What I said was, everything that I said was the truth, that you can go Google it, go look it up. It's fact-based. It's not something to debate. You can't debate me about it. It's the truth. Of course I'm mad. Of course I'm upset. You telling me I'm mad is not no dig at me. Yes, I'm upset because black women are being harmed. Black women are being tortured in their own communities. And you have black men like you with that goofy blue hat that you got on act like you live in a delusional world where these things aren't happening. And these are you want to get in your feelings and say, "Oh, she just want to dog the black man. She just want to dog the black man." Well, why don't you tell Google that they're dogging the black man? Huh? Because any of these stats you can clearly get right from Google and find out that what I'm saying is the truth. I didn't do like a lot of other black women say, all black men are this, all black men are that. All I did was give you factual based statistics. That's it. Excuse me, fact-based statistics. So I don't know what to tell you. And dog 24 Nation, you about to get blocked because I don't like the lies. I don't like the lies at all because what I said was the truth. And if I didn't, please come up here with get me a screenshot and the web address of what reputable place you went to that can combat what I said. But I guarantee you won't because you're a liar. Who was that? Coach T, was you done? If so, if not, I'm gonna go to Chrissy after
Yeah,
you.
I just want to close up by saying you perfectly led to my next point, which is like people get triggered when you're triggered, not to not to use the pun, but it's real. Like when we have these conversations and we're having these topics, we're going to be reactive, or we're going to have visceral responses, because this is people's real lives. This is not just talking points. I know for a lot of people in certain spaces, it's talking points, and we're always talking and we're using these words and we're bloviating and we're circumventing and we're not really being direct and we're using abstractions, and it's all. But these are real people who are being harmed every single minute while we're sitting up here on this live. There is a woman, a black woman, who is being harmed, whose life is being taken away. And y'all want us to just sit up here and laugh and let y'all just talk and spew all of this rhetoric and just say whatever it is that y'all want to say. And that's how I know on a spiritual level that this is a spell, like this is an enchantment, because when these people talk, they say the same thing over and over. Like, it's like, follow the sound of my voice. You are getting sleepy, very sleepy. You can tell because they say the same stuff. They're NPCs. They're deep fakes. They don't have an original thought. So you can always tell who these people are because they just say the same stuff over and over again. And when you try to get them to dig deeper or to have two brain cells and a synapse make a connection and talk to each other, nothing happens. They just fizzle out. So black women, be careful when you hear certain people saying certain things and using certain words. Your alert should be up like, oh, okay, I see what type of time you on.
All right, Coach T. I'm gonna go down here to Chrissy. Go ahead, Chrissy.
Good morning, y'all. How we doing?
Pretty good. How are you?
I'm doing just fine. So I'm gonna say this, and I probably bring this up every live, but when it comes to the music, back when it was Two Live Crew, Tupac, NWA, all them, and then you had Miss C. Dolores Tucker, who was an elder who marched with Dr. Martin Luther King and all of them, and she was saying, do not create this music disparaging your community and talking bad on your women. They called that old lady, respectfully, that elder, not old lady, they called that elder everything but a child of God. Out her name, called her an MFer. We danced to the music like How Do You Want It? When Tupac said Dolores Tucker used a... That's the same songs that we sitting there dancing to. And it's quite literally the disrespect and the degrading of black women. I'm not going to sit here and say I'm not a fan of Tupac, the rap from then, because I am. But let's be serious. Let's be so serious. So it's always our fault somehow, some way. Another issue is with the whole Trump thing and us saying, all the celebrities that voted for Trump, they out the door. We not messing with it, whatever the case may be. And then we turn around and Chrisette Michelle is really the main one that's getting dolled out while everybody else gets that slap on the wrist. That I feel like that was a community-wide issue, but that was mainly men as well. really men who just cannot stick on code at all. Like we placate to it, some women, but it's the men specifically that cannot stick on code. And then I've heard men turn around and say, "Oh my gosh, women were just being such mean girls to Chrisette Michelle and this, that, and the third." And it's just like, no, y'all can't lock in. Y'all swear y'all want A, B, and C, and y'all swear everybody tap dance and this, that, and the third. So when we stay on code and we stand on business, we the bad guys. But if we didn't stand on business, we still be the bad guys. So which one is it? Wait.
All right, all right. I appreciate you, Chrissy. I don't know what Tyreek is talking about. That Chrissy was pandering and not making sense. Tupac had so many songs that degraded black women. I have no idea how y'all can like isolate a couple songs that he made, which were actually highly contradictory compared to the other music that he made, which pushed violence and also disrespect and degradation of women. It doesn't make any sense. Tupac was not for black women at all. Not only was he not for black women, he also had intercourse with a lot of black women and cast them to the side. He also had SA allegations, or I don't know if he was convicted of that, but he had allegations. I have no idea what would make you think that Tupac, out of all people, who actually unalived the way that he lived and all he did was receive the energy that he was putting out, it bumped, it reverberated right back to him like a boomerang, which is why he's not alive right now. I have no idea. But go ahead, Tyreek.
Can I speak? I'm sorry.
I just want to say everything that you said is just actually bashing black men, right? And I'm gonna say
No,
this.
everything I said
No,
was
no,
the
no, no,
truth.
no. Let me
No,
finish
no,
because
no, 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 me at all. I don't gotta let you say nothing. I just need you to understand that too. I ain't gotta let you say a damn thing. Respectfully. Like, I don't owe you anything. I didn't say anything that was bashing black men. That's why I want to interject. I said nothing to bash black men. Bashing black men would be exactly what y'all do. Calling black women nappy-headed, calling black women masculine, calling black women fat. Just like this black man said in the comments, if black women look in the mirror, they're not going to like what they see, or whatever dumb stuff he said in the comments. I said nothing like that. I gave you numbers of what black men are doing in the community. I gave you proven things that is happening at the hands of black men and what they introduced to the black community. That's a fact. I said nothing that was bashing black men unless you find the truth to be bashing. But according to y'all love truth, right? Y'all love accountability, right? So what did I say that bash black men? Did I talk about the way they look? Did I talk the way they hair? Did I talk about their bodies? No, I didn't. I didn't bash anyone. All I said was the truth. But you can go ahead.
there are black policemen, policewomen, black firemen, black women firemen, black paramedics, black men paramedics, black women paramedics, right? In the community. I don't know what community you live in, but there's a lot of black people that are thriving in a black community. So just to actually talk about those people that you're talking about, maybe that's your experience. But I believe there's a lot of black men and black women that are actually doing right by their community. You get what I'm saying? So my thing is, it's like you're saying that you're doing your part in your community. Do you live in a black community or do you live in a hood that you feel like is messed up and you upset about that? Because I see a lot of black men leaders and a lot of black women leaders.
Okay,
Again,
so let me say this. All right. What you're saying doesn't make any freaking sense. I don't live in the hood.
I'm gonna
That's
drop. I'm
number
gonna
one.
drop.
Da, 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 da,
I
da,
see
da,
what
da.
type of person you
Da, da,
are.
da, da.
I see what
Okay,
you are.
okay. You can see
I see
whatever I am. I could care less what you think I am, Tyreek. If you think I care what a man with a goofy blue hat on thinks about me, you really got another thing coming. Let me say this, is that you can say what you want to say. First of all, black women firemen and black women, what did you say, police women, like black police women and black fire women, they make up less than 1% of anything. I know it's fire women, but let me look up. I'll give you exactly what percentage of police officers are black women. But let me say this, is that you cannot hide the numbers. You can say whatever you are saying you're doing for your community, but I dare say that you're not doing anything for your community because you just sat there and said that Tupac was for black women. Somebody that made a song called I Get Around? Are you freaking kidding me? That's what you think? You think that that's a man that's for black women? You think a black man that's had a million different interviews calling black women the B words and 304s and Lutz is for black women? You're delusional. You're insane. But once again, I want you to understand that even though your feelings are hurt, Tyreek, even though you know what I'm saying, you're gonna go home and get in the shower and weep about what I said that was actual factual. The things I said are the truth. Period. What black men are doing to black women cannot be denied. You can look it up on your phone. The things that black men are doing to other black men cannot be denied. It's the truth. The fact that the majority of black girls, by the time they turn 18, have undergone some type of unwanted sexual contact, usually by a black man, is not it is a fact, bro. Everything that I said was factual. So you can say you know what type of person I am all day, but you can't get mad at me for telling the truth. Because anytime y'all want to tear up black women and bash black women and talk about things that are anecdotal, like hair and weave and body types, nobody say nothing to y'all, but y'all get, and it's just like, I feel like it's just like Kendrick said, like, don't tell no lies about me and I won't tell the truth about you. And that's the issue. Y'all don't want black women to tell the truth. That's it. And you can say that I'm hurt all day. And the thing about it is that y'all have like a little playbook of words that y'all use to try to silence black women. Like you'll say, like you were trying to tell the women in the comments, oh, you single, where your man at? That's the number one thing that y'all do to silence black women. But since you already knew that I was married, you couldn't say that. So now it's that I'm hurt. You know what I'm saying? And if I could say that I was hurt, I'm hurt because black men are unaliving black women. Okay, I'm hurt that black women make up 10% of the female population, yet 59 to 60% of all unalivings of women wholeheartedly across in the United States. I'm hurt about that. Yes, but what exactly would I be hurt about? I don't have any more hurt to feel about black men. Y'all have for a long time now, been very disloyal and violent towards the black woman. So exactly what would I be hurt about? I'm not shocked, but I tell you, I'm hurt that young black women are being trafficked by black men. I'm sad about that. So what are we really talking about? Like I said, y'all got to come up with, and I noticed that y'all will call me hurt. Y'all will call me all these names. Y'all will say I'm bashing black men, but you know what y'all never do? Y'all never debunk me. Y'all never debunk me. Y'all never can disprove the points that I made. Y'all can never do any of those things. So you can call me hurt all day that you want to, Tyreek. I guarantee you that your wife is hurt. I know that your wife is hurt when you pull your pants down at night and you want to penetrate her. I know she's hurt when she see that little shrimp. I know that. So if we want to talk about real hurt, I'm sure that the real hurt is the disappointment that your wife has when you pull your pants down. But anyway, like I was saying, like you can call me hurt every day, all day, 24/7. But what you won't call me is wrong. What you won't call me is inaccurate. What you won't call me is, you won't say that I'm not factual, because I am. And that's what hurts you, baby. That's why you hurt. Because you came up here and you ain't have a damn thing to say, baby. You was hurt because you couldn't debunk not one thing that I said. Because everything that I said, unlike the things that you say, are truthful. Okay? Everything that I told you is truthful. So swallow that, baby.
Can I say something real quick? I'm sorry.
Yeah, and then I'm gonna go up there to
Can I say
mine.
something?
I think Chrissy asked first.
And now I'm sorry. So I love how you brought up "I Get Around," because that was literally my first thought. Like, you make a song called "I Get Around," and I love Tupac. I'm not even gonna sit here and lie to y'all. I'm not gonna fake the funk. I love rap music, right? But he gonna make a song called "I Get Around," but then go turn around and make a song called "I Wonder Why They Call You B Word," and then go sit there and say, "Keep your head up, legs closed, eyes open." How we gonna keep our head up, legs closed, eyes open when y'all got y'all wee-wee out? How does that work? Like, how are you calling her the same B word for spreading her legs, for spreading A, B, and C disease, when a lot of y'all go out here jumping from head to head to head to head with no reprimand? Like, it's quite literally the contradiction that we be talking about, but nobody holds that accountable. And with Tupac, I love to tell the whole story. Like, some people like to tell him just being a thug, being a bad guy. Some people just like to be like, oh, well, he was just positive, when two things can be true at the same time. The man was a contradiction. And that's just really that. But yeah, it's sad, because how can you preach one thing in full with your whole chest and then do another, and then other people have sat and been like, well, with that whole case with that lady that falsely accused him of A, B, and C, this, that, and third. Okay, but if you were falsely, and they said that's why he started disliking women, or da da da. My whole thing is, if suppose what that lady said was women or da da da. But my whole thing is, if suppose what that lady said was not the truth behind it, right? That doesn't give you the right to go out and every main person in my life that has hurt me has been a man, a black man at that. But I still choose black men to my detriment. Choose black men to my detriment sometimes, and I will admit that. So it turns around and be like, if I have gone through A, B, and C, and I still say I love you, black man, I'm trying to have community with you, black man. I'm trying to have black children. Where's the reciprocity? You know? She went on pause. But yeah, I don't know if that makes sense. But yeah, I get it. It's definitely hurtful. It is her. Yes, rest, Coach T. Yes, rest. I am resting. I am not talking to no. Yes, rest, Coach T. Yes, rest. I am resting. I am not talking to nobody. I'm not being around nobody because it's like it's too much to navigate. It's entirely too much to navigate. The hurt. The hurt. Whoa. Mhm. Yeah, I know. I know they don't care. That's why I stopped. I'm.
Some of us are still raising babies. We got boys in our household, so we can't even. I don't even know how they can adjust this, but they gotta separate the two because relationships and you raising them is two different things. Hopefully, you can make this little boy be a father, a righteous and honorable male, but he have so much of these dudes like Tyreek, whoever that dude that's influencing him bad, and it's kind of hard. But black women, you have to accept the fact that you are the target. And I listen, y'all accept what is. We here. It's real. It's been going on. It's for years, decades, millenniums, centuries. It's here. It's here, and we have to accept it. Listen to me. Y'all know what they say about people who try to get at you and you used to deny them and now you want to get back with them. I'm talking about dating outside your
Wait,
race.
excuse me.
Listen. Just be.
Don't do that. Don't do that. I don't know what you want, Miss Moore. Anyway, as I was saying, you guys, I accidentally my live got disconnected or something. That's why it was silent. So I decided to come back on here. But Miss Moore, I don't really like how you spoke to me. So I'm gonna go ahead
Like
and drop
how?
you. Yeah, you have a great
What?
day. All right. Bye-bye. Cause I don't play those type of games and I don't disrespect black women. So I'm just gonna drop you so that I can actually do what I say that I do, which is respect black women. You gotta go. But because all I was trying to tell you guys is that I wasn't on the live while you guys were speaking. You know what I'm saying? The live got disconnected. And I thought that I wasn't gonna be able to get back on, but it was still going. So yeah. But that's why it was silent. But let me go ahead and let some more of you ladies up. So sorry. Let me let y'all up right now. Yeah, I don't like I said, I don't know. I don't know what that lady was on, you guys. I did, however, though, before you guys speak, Proud Black Woman and Miss Chrissy, I'm so glad to see y'all. I did want to let Minding speak again. Because I don't think that she got a chance to respond to anything that was going on. And I know she had something to say.
I'll drop if anyone wants my space. Thank you, y'all.
Oh, and thanks so much for coming, Chrissy, too.
You too. See you later.
Okay. Did you have something to say, Minding? I'm sorry. I want to get to you too.
No, you're good. I appreciate you for doubling back on me. Miss Coach T, I do want to thank you for trying to get me to clarify what it was that I was speaking of when it came to community. The only reason I felt that way about community is because I have a family. I have 4 young women that I'm raising with my husband, and it hurts my feelings when I have to. I'm gonna stop that. Fuck that shit. Clock back to what Miss Trigger was talking about. If we don't cast these men out that aren't worthy of being in our presence, then the rest of them gonna think they have a place. If we don't just like cut the BS with them, like stop letting them have it. I love this topic that you're bringing to the table because a lot of the times we only get to see their side of the story. Like, the complaining of the black men, hating us, and we're always the target. And it's not fun being the target. And I like being able to hear other black women express this and say that we're not going to sit here and let y'all keep dragging us through the mud. That's it. I just been listening to the conversation, and I like it. That's it.
All right, all right. I appreciate you minding. I noticed that you said that you have a family, you have a husband and children. I understand. I have a husband and children as well. I think that sometimes, when you're a black woman and you may be in a relationship, you may be kind of disconnected about what is exactly going on because your reality is your reality and there's nothing wrong with how you feel and your feelings are valid and everything like that. But a lot of times you can become disconnected on what is happening collectively or what is the general trend of what's going on in the black community. So I just wanted to say that I think that me is something that I don't have the luxury of doing because of the work that I do as far as socially with black women and black girls and things like that. I'm very much kept in a grounded state of realizing that my life is not the general consensus of the way black women's lives are, or they're not being treated the way that they should be by black men, even if they're not dating them, even if they're just coming across them in everyday interactions. But yeah, I just want to say that because sometimes it can be a little difficult, but I respect what you said and I understand where you're coming from. Let me go to well, I don't know if is Coach T wanted to respond back to minding, and then after that I'll get to proud and Miss Chrissy baby.
No, I just wanted to say that you said Gabby could go next. Before we got silent, you said Chrissy, Miss Moore, and Gabby.
Oh,
I just
okay.
didn't want Gabby to get skipped.
Okay. I'm sorry. I be forgetting the order. I'm so sorry, Gabby. Go ahead, Miss Gabrielle.
And thank you again, Coach T. I actually agreed with a lot of what Coach T was saying about the whole community thing because, like you were saying, triggered. You were listing off the stats, like the increased femicide rates, the fact that in most cases when BW are harmed, 9 times out of 10 it's by BM. Even just the males who came up on this live, like they didn't have anything intelligent to say. They didn't have any rebuttals. They were in the comments talking about, oh, triggered must be hurt. They were in their comments asking women about their marriage status, but they didn't have anything intelligent to say. And I don't understand how I don't understand how you could look at that and say like, oh, BW needs to be collectively in community with those kinds of men. Like, and this is just me personally. Like, I have never dated BM. I don't and never will. And I don't understand how looking at that collectively, like all the things I just said, and just saying like those males should be in leadership. Like these are the same guys who are in red pill spaces, like saying that's a problem that, women can, vote, and saying that we're not good for anything. And Trigger has talked about her other lives, like the rap music that they started. And even if you forget about all this stuff from decades ago, even today, the BMs who came in this live, they could not refute or, make any good points. So I don't understand wanting to be in community with that. It's like on an individual level, like Triggered's married to a B. I'm like, yeah, individually, if you meet a man, regardless of the race, like that's your relationship, that's your thing, go for it. But I just don't understand this focus on collective community because BMs, when they're in their lives, like bashing women and bashing BW, they're not saying that. So to me, it just seems extremely male centered. And yeah, I just wanted to respond and say that.
Okay. All right, Gabrielle. All right. So I'm gonna go up here to then proud black woman and then Miss Chrissy baby.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Hi, thank you for having me again. You know, I love your lives and I love how you check people and you don't take any disrespect. You remind me of myself. I want to piggyback because I was going to say something else, but I want to piggyback off the young lady that just spoke because she has the exact same mindset that I have. Black women, I don't understand why we still have Black women who are so bent on protecting the community. You need to worry about yourself as Black women and girls. This whole like having Black men, and this is why I rarely have Black men in my spaces like this, because they're not going to come here with honest conversations. They don't want to have honest conversations. They are hurt. They understand the movement. They see that we have more Black women who are opening up their options. they see that we have more Black women who are decentering men, so they are becoming more aggressive and angry because they no longer have that power. They're slowly losing it. Does that make sense? So they come into these lives and they come in and they're very disrespectful, and then they're deflecting. You're hurt. No, nigga, you hurt. We're not hurt. If we're hurt, it's because of how we see you guys treating us. But we're speaking the truth about a collective group of men. And most Black men are not going to be honest about that. That's why I don't even spend my time talking to them, because I already know it's going to be a boxing match, because I'm not backing down. I'm not backing down. You could pull up if you want to. I'm still not going to back down. I'm not scared of these dudes. And that's what they're not used to. You see how homeboy jumped off your live on his own and then started running his mouth in the comments section. He a punk. Because it's like you had space on here to say what you had to say, and yet you're ignoring the point. Black women need to stop focusing on your love for Black men. Stop acting like you don't see that. The vast majority of Black men do not love Black women. They're showing you that. What more do they have to do? And I really don't understand how we still have Black women that are, I still love the Black men. Like, it's okay if you love your father, your sons, your brothers, but to still be openly talking about how much you love Black men when you clearly see what we're dealing with is just craziness to me. And it's a big part of why we're still in this. And it's also a big part as to why Black men come into these lives and speak this way, because they already know there's going to be a mammy or pick me in here that's going to continue to pick him no matter how we talk about how Black men treat us. We have to stop that. Black men do not sit in their lives talking about how much they love Black women. They don't. You're not going to find one live where Black men as a collective group are sitting in there talking about how much they love Black women. You know why Black men don't have to talk about it? Do y'all know why Black men don't have to talk about it? Because if they want it, they can just go out and get it. Do you understand me? Like, there's 20 women to every one man. So even the brokest Black man on the street can find him a Black woman if he really wanted Black love, y'all. That's why they don't. There's no need for them to talk about it, because what they need to talk about when they can just go out and get it. And we look silly still sitting here begging Black men for something that they don't want to give. Accept that and move on. We have to worry about us. This is about, I forgot what the word is, but this is about saving us now. Black women need to save yourselves. If it's meant for you to be with a Black man, he will find you. But this whole worship of the Black man is still sitting here talking about, oh, I love Black men, but they just keep disappointing me. They're showing you, even God is showing us at this point. You're not going to change their mind. You're not going to make them love you back. We don't have any control over that. What we do have control over is what we allow, what we continue to allow Black men to do. And I saw someone say, I think someone was in here talking about, I want Black kids and all that. Look, Black men will give you Black kids. They've been doing that. Black men will give you Black kids. They ain't got no problem sharing their sperm. They're doing it all day, every day. Are they going to be there to help you raise them is an entirely different thing, Black women. So stop with the I want Black kids stuff. You sound crazy at this point. At the end of the day, Black men will give you that. I could go lay up with a Black man right now. It's several of them I could lay up with and have a kid with. That's not hard to do. Stop acting like that's hard to do. The problem is, are Black men going to stick around and help you raise your children? And we know from statistics and what we see, most likely they aren't. So we need to focus on us. We need to focus on our mental health. We need to focus on how because at this point, we're an endangered species. We need to focus on our safety and stop acting like we don't see what's going on. So I'll land there.
All right. I appreciate you, proud Black woman. All right, let me go down here to Miss Chrissy, baby.
Hey Trigger, hi ladies.
Hey, sis.
I came up to say there was a Black woman's body found on a hiking trail near where I live. Maybe because I still have human empathy and emotion, I get angry and upset that of the femicide rates. Just because it's not connected to me. Just because, and I do unfortunately have family members, but just because I see cases like this, or the 11-year-old girl where the black man walked up to her and asked for some toilet paper from the bathroom, went in there with her and essayed her.
Yes, I heard that.
You know what I mean? Like stuff like that. Yes. I'm still human. I'm not a demon. I get emotionally charged off of stuff like that. And it's a reoccurring thing over and over. Like not to make it personal, but my feelings and awakening to this was when I was a child. And the men that I observed behaving like this were so-called pillars of the community, pastors, community leaders. Like that was the demons terrorizing the town, leaving a lot of trauma behind them or whatever. Not only the ones during the 80s and the 90s and the candy era corrupting the community. So I didn't see examples growing up. So I came to this conclusion before I even turned 18, like to have a side eye is much more visceral and much more standing on business now that I'm an adult. But I definitely had my first, and I'm sure I'm not the only one, my first inclination, like, dang, they getting like, these old men are getting these young girls pregnant. Dang, they doing this in the communities. We can't even go outside. Dang, we can't even have sand in our playground because of the candy sales or whatever. And they breaking, glass for using candy in the playground. Dang, the pastor's doing this. Dang, the deacon's doing this. Dang, the community leaders doing this. Dang, we got one black teacher, but that one black male teacher is doing this. You understand what I'm saying? So it's just like, we didn't just come out of nowhere and just like up here bashing or whatever. I do think there's a sense of delusion and hope because we're kind of groomed to be abused. We're groomed to forgive. We're groomed to, if you don't forgive, oh, you're just being bitter, you're just being angry. Now okay, I'm bitter, I'm angry, and what? Because they try to gaslight you into not having the human reaction to their stuff. You understand what I'm saying? So, I don't know. I think I'm glad I'm seeing more women feeling what I felt since I was a little girl. I'll just put it like that.
All right. I appreciate you, Miss Chrissy, baby. I'll say that it's just, I don't know, it's very upsetting to me. And that's what makes me realize that the black community is probably it's going to get worse before it gets better, is because it's just the unwillingness of black men to look into the mirror. It's just like, I know not everybody believes in the Bible or whatever, but if there's a scripture where it talks about like someone, seeing a rafter and somebody, well, no, they see like a straw in somebody else's eye while they have a big rafter hanging out of theirs. And it's the same thing, in my opinion, with black men. They can see any type of, idiosyncrasies that black women have or little imperfections that they see, while they can totally ignore the major huge things that they are doing to not only harm themselves but also to harm black women as well. And that is, I think, what's the most upsetting, in that if you try to come at them from any type of fact-based perspective, it's like they can't see it and they call it bashing. And to me, there's no way that you can ever do better if you refuse to see the problem. If you refuse to see what's going on, there's no way possible that you can fix anything if you don't see a problem happening. So that me personally, I have really lost really any type of hopes to that there'll be any type of improvements anytime soon. The only way I feel like there will be any type of improvement, if we can get more black women on the side of totally disengaging and not assisting or helping them in any way, and insisting them in delusion. And unfortunately, I still believe 50% of black women wholeheartedly assist black men in their behavior that is ruining the black community. And it might not be a direct help, like, when a black man unalives somebody, she's right there helping, but it's her words, it's her worshiping, it's her coddling, it's her ignoring, it's her allowing them to live in delusion that also is an assist in all of these things. So until we can get more of those women on board to stop that type of behavior, or stop always being there, because if black women want black men's respect, they've got to also demand respect. And black women, a lot, at least 50%, don't demand respect. You letting a man lay up in your house and he's done nothing for you. He's doing nothing for you. He's not paying no bills. You having 3/4 of a man's children, excuse me, and he's not married you and did nothing for you. You are allowing him to beat the brakes off of you and abuse you and use you and abuse you. And you are doing it. You're having threesomes and things of that nature that you don't want to. You don't like women. You're not attracted to women, and you're allowing those men to do that to keep them around. There's so many things that women do to assist black men in their own destruction. And I'm not trying to victim blame or anything, but I said this on another live, and I'm gonna say it now, even if people are upset with me. It's just like half the time, I would say at least 65 to 75% of the time, when I see black femicide and something that's happened to a black woman, and I go and I look at the mugshots of these men, they look like criminals, felons, degenerates, disgusting, just ashy, broke, dusty, trifling men. And it's like, why were you with this man? Why did you even give him an opportunity? And it'd be like black women that have a lot going for themselves. They'll be like, oh yes, Keisha was a business owner. She had her own business. She was making this type of money. She was doing this. She was a nurse. She was that. And it's like, what? Why in the world would you entertain this type of man? You didn't realize the outcome would be this? He got tattoos all on his face, all on his neck, all on his hands. You know what I'm saying? And people can say what they want to say about this, but certain hairstyles, this does not apply to black women. So any black women that wear locks, it does not apply to you. It does not. But however, certain hairstyles, when it comes to black men, they're not wearing it because they love natural hair. They're not wearing it because of a spiritual journey. A lot of times they're wearing it because it appeals to a certain type of mind frame. So when you see black men with wigs sticking up on the top of their head, and they got golds everywhere, they got tattoos everywhere, they got these long unkempt locks, I promise you that there's a reason for it. And that's the reason why when you look up the perpetrators of a lot of these violent acts against black women, they look just like what I'm saying. And it's not anti-black, because I have 4C hair. I love black hair. You know what I'm saying? Even when I wear a weave or something like that, it's always textured. It's always kinky straight or kinky curly or something like that. So I don't want to hear nothing about self-hatred. All I'm saying is that black women have got to start being more discerning and stop giving men chances. If he been to jail ever for anything, no. He been in prison. I don't care what he's telling you. No. So it's like, it's so many black women that I feel like either subconsciously or even consciously contribute to the issues with black men by encouraging it. Because if you allow him access to your vagina, that's encouraging it. You can't tell me that you want black men to do better and you don't like black men and this, that, and the third, and you're sleeping with them. You're sleeping with unworthy men. You know what I'm saying? And this doesn't apply to every black man, because you can find a black man that's worthy but I'm saying collectively, he's done nothing for you. Why are you opening your legs to him? And I don't care if you talk about some, I'm just getting mine off. If you want to get yours off, go to Amazon, ma'am. There are plenty of things that you can use. Get you a rose, get you a bullet, get you whatever your preference is. Respectfully, not trying to be, vulgar or anything like that. But there's literally no reason why you should be opening your legs to unworthy and undesirable men just to scratch an itch. That makes you the same as men. Men are the ones that are poorly regulated, can't control themselves sexually or emotionally, not you. So I have way more, standards that I hold black women to. So all I want to say is that once we've got to get black women out of that thing of still needing and yearning for black men, because they are nowhere. I think it was just like Proud Black Women saying, they're nowhere talking about their needing and yearning for you. And even if there is one black man that comes up and says, hey, I love my sisters, you notice how the other black men shut him down quickly. Why don't you like other women? There's other races of women. Why you like them? They're never doing that anywhere collectively, uplifting you and speaking life into you and talking about how much you are better than everybody else. They're not doing it. So why are you doing it? Huh? Ask yourself that. Like, I just, yeah. I don't want to go on a rant. Let me go down here to Ivy. Go ahead, Ivy. Yeah, did you have something to say, sis?
Oh yeah, I was gonna talk about, I'm 19, so I'm young. So I'm kind of like new to this. But with black men, yeah, I have a black father, so I kind of grew up with a black man, kind of like, and he was a single black man too. So that's why I kind of think that it's kind of like stopping me from not being attracted to black men, I guess, because I did have a man that did provide for me. So
I don't think I will just say Ivy left. I didn't drop her anything, you guys. I don't think there's anything wrong with you thinking black men are attractive, Ivy. I would be a hypocrite to say that because I'm married to a black man. What I think is wrong is black women's very public worship of them. They're very public putting that they love their dark skin and all of these things and putting it on a pedestal when it is not reciprocated. I don't believe in public support and public uplifting of black men. Now, if you know a black man in your life that you like, that treats you like a queen, that you're attracted to, by all means, love on him, in your personal life. But what I'm saying is the public adoration for black men, when it's never reciprocated, when the entire world uses that as a weapon against, black women to say, hey, y'all men don't like y'all. Y'all men like white tea women. Y'all men like non-black women. I find that to be crazy. Do not publicly uplift them because they would never do the same for you. You tell me how many lives that y'all see every day of black men on panels where it's filled up, where they're talking about in all the ways they love black women, all the ways they love their nose, all the way they love their different complexions, all the way they love their kinky hair, all the way they love everything that black women bring to the table. And they're just pouring nothing but love in there. And they're not mentioning any other races of women. Tell me how many lives you seen of black men doing that, huh? Or do you see, just like Vernell said, they're telling everybody that black women are single mothers or masculine or angry or evil or combative or nappy headed, or they're wearing wigs and weaves and makeup and lashes and whatever other stuff that they're trying to demonize black women on. So that's my thing is that I don't feel like black women collectively will ever get the respect of black men because they don't require it. They allow black men who have literally nothing to offer them, their vagina, their homes, their spaces. Some of them even offer up their children to them, and they know their children are being abused by these men, and they don't care. They just want the presence of a black man around. Until you stand up and say, hey, you know what? I'm not playing with y'all. Y'all ain't got nothing coming for me. Y'all ain't got nothing coming until y'all, you know what I'm saying? Then maybe you could get somewhere. But unfortunately, there are a lot of black women that are not on code. And that's the problem. There are at least 50% of active pick-me's, and they may not even be aware that that's what they're being. Just like the lady that was up here. What's her name? What's her name? Minding, I think her name was, who said that, she's married, she had kids, which I don't see anything wrong with that. But the fact that she tried to place herself in a position of defense, even she may not even been aware, but that's what she was trying to do with Tyreek. By talking about, hey, yes, black men, they need to be our leaders. We need the leadership. We need them. We definitely need them. How? Why? And even if you felt like you did, why would you say it publicly? Because did Tyreek say once that he needed black women? No, he didn't. He didn't say I need black women. I need black women. I need them in my life. I need them in my presence. We need them to exist and breathe. No, he didn't say that because he don't feel that way, but you do. And that's embarrassing. And in what world, in any other situation, it's embarrassing to have unrequited love. It's embarrassing to keep chasing after somebody that show you that they don't want you. So it's just like, that's kind of gross. Stop doing that when black men aren't doing that for you. And until you stop it, they're always going to do this because they're going to feel like it don't matter what I say to that woman. I can always come back. I can always be right there. And she always going to be right there. You know what I'm saying? And that to me is embarrassing. But anyway, let me let everybody else up that was trying to come up here. And after that, and I'll let everybody else speak again,
Can
y'all.
I respond real quick, Trigger,
Oh,
before we get
yes. Go ahead, Coach T.
Yeah. I just wanted to real quick respond. Oh, Ivy, you're back up. Good.
yeah.
I just wanted to respond real quick to what Ivy said. She said, like, her father was single and took care of her, but he provided for you and you're his daughter. He was duty bound to do that. That was his responsibility. He didn't provide for another woman or a wife. So you haven't seen the example set of a man or like a black man specifically having that standard set of where he has to take care of a family, a wife and children and himself and extended family. And I think that for black women, the standard and the expectation is so low for black men. Even when I hear black women who defend black men, like their standard to be in so-called community with them is like gutter. It's just like, okay, like what else is he supposed to be doing? They don't really have a rubric or expectation. And I agree, Trigger, that there are just certain qualifiers that black women need to put in place when it comes to black men. And for me personally, I don't speak to or I don't encourage things that I myself am not willing to implement or I'm not willing to practice. And so when I say a rubric, I mean, I don't care how attractive a man is or how much I desire him, or I have this thing with my girlfriends. When we're out, if a guy approaches us, I can tell BDE. I can tell when he packing. I can just tell by a man energy what his friend is like. And so even in situations where you feel that energy, and I think a lot of men who have that energy, they know that they have that energy, and they'll try to kind of use that to enchant women or entice them. So it's just like Trigger said, like, do not let that as a woman overpower you, or do not become overwhelmed by that, because men bank on that and they anticipate that that is something that they're going to be able to use against you. Is a lot of women aren't being unnecessarily harmed by men in a way where we're talking about like femicide, which the rates are true. The femicide rates are absolutely true, and that is absolutely happening. A lot of women are being lulled to sleep. A lot of women are being DICK-matized. They are being put under some sort of spell by these men through being in those intimate relationships with them. So you have to be very discerning, and you have to be very particular about who you even allow into your physical space, let alone into your womb space or into your sex energy. And so I think that that is the piece that women are missing, especially black women are not understanding, is that all of this is about access. And so when you're talking about you want to be in community with a man because y'all simply are both black, if that is your only commonality, I encourage you to do a self-assessment. While black men need to do their own mirror work, black women, we have our own mirror work to do. And we need to assess, why is it that we are willing to be in community with people, or men in general, who we only have one thing in common with? You are a multifaceted, multidimensional person. Why do you want to be in community with somebody who the only thing y'all have in common is that you are black, or y'all have the same traumatic history, or y'all share the same toxic culture or toxic belief systems? And I think that when black women get into these relationships, we quickly realize how much we don't have in common with these men. And by that time, we already DICK-matized and we kind of just stay in a relationship. It's sunken cost fallacy, and then it ends up spiraling into a whole thing that it doesn't even need to be. And so black women, we have to get our own standards for ourselves and stop being so focused and so concerned and so worried about what these men are doing and trying to get and be in community with them. They like, leave them where they at. Leave these men where they have you fucked up at.
All right, all right, all right. I appreciate you, Coach T. I'm going to go to Proud Black Woman, because Proud Black Woman asked, because she responds to someone, and then I'll go down here to Everything, and then Ivy, and then the lady at the bottom. I can't even see it, but this is my journey. Yeah. Okay, go ahead, Proud Black Woman.
Hey, thank you for letting me to respond, and I'm gonna be as respectful as I can because I'm on your live. I just want to respond to Shades of Sky. And I asked her if she want to pull up so we can talk. She was triggered by me saying that black women need to focus on ourselves. And she's clearly the only one in this live that's not understanding what I'm saying. And the reason why I know she was triggered, because she made a comment like, we understand you're done with black men. I never said I was done with black men. Okay, so that's how I know you're triggered, because you just assumed that I said I was done with black men. I never said that. I said black women. Yeah, please let her up.
Okay, all right. Is anybody willing to drop so that I can add Shades up?
I can drop Trig. I'll drop down. I'm supposed to be working anyway.
All right, coach. After you want to come back up after this is done, you can, sis.
I'm gonna be in the chat. I'm gonna be with my keyboard fingers.
All right, all right, all right. Okay, let me send a request here then to Miss Shades. And then I'll so that proud black woman can continue to what she was saying.
I appreciate that.
Okay, okay, go ahead, proud. Shades
Yeah,
is up here.
Shades, you here? Are you there?
Yeah, she
I'm here. Hey y'all. Hi, Triggered.
So my issue, because you seem like you don't only pick me and man me in the live. Yeah, that's what it seemed
Okay,
like
go
to me,
ahead.
because you said, you made several comments. We understand your point. Here's the thing. I don't know who you are, but a lot of people in this live already know who I am. They already know my stance. Triggered already knows my stance. That's why I'm here. So you're the one that's lost and confused. Everybody else understands what the fuck I'm talking about on here. And I didn't appreciate you saying, you're done with black men. I never said I was done with black men. I said black women need to focus on ourselves. And I also said that I date all races of men. And that's why you were triggered. Because, and that's what we call pick-me's. You're the type of woman that we call a pick-me, because anytime you hear another black woman speak about how we need to put ourselves before black men, you start feeling some type of way. And then all of a sudden it's, we understand you're passionate. Yes, I'm passionate. So is Trigger. That's why we here. Why the fuck you think we here? We're not playing. So what is the issue? What is the issue with what I said that made you feel like I said I was done with black men? Simply because I said that black women need to put ourselves first. And I make no apologies about that. I stand on the shit that I say.
all right. Shades, did you have any rebuttal for proud black woman?
Yeah, I'm not sure what she's talking about. You're right. I don't know you and you don't know me either. I don't really come on Triggered's lives, like on the panel, but I'm always in the comments and I'm always supporting. Clearly you're the one triggered because you continue to mention me and with all the caps and like you're cursing. I don't even understand what the issue is. Earlier in the comments, I said verbatim, well, maybe not verbatim, but the gist of it was like, it's sad to say that I still love black men, shaking my head, they're a disappointment. Now, I'm not sure if your following statement that you said when you got up on the panel was referring to me or if you were just speaking in general, but it kind of seems to me like you repeated what I said and then continued to give a rebuttal. While you were on the panel, you said something about, well, oh, I see people in the comments talking about they still love black men and da 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 da, and oh, y'all need to love yourselves and this and that. The host is married to a black man. So if I'm a pick me for saying that it's okay to still love black men, and the host is married to a black man, and I'm pretty sure some of the women either in the comments or the panel or just watching are still dating and having smacks with black men, then I guess we're all pick me's. Secondly, you mentioned me after I said something about the host said,
Shades of Sky, I just want to interject there just real quick and I'm gonna let you finish. I
mhm.
just want to say I don't like men at all. Wholeheartedly dislike all men of all races, everybody. I only like my husband. It's a running joke with us that he said, man, I know you don't like me. And he was like, but you like me. And that's the only person you got to like. I don't like men. I really don't. And it's so crazy that I just happened to run across, some people, I remember one time I mentioned soulmate and somebody in the comments said that like thinking like that is immature. So I don't know. I just happened to run across my soulmate, but collectively, no. I don't like men in general. I don't like white men. I don't like black men. I don't like Hispanic men. I don't like Asian men. I don't like none of them. I really don't. And I think that if I was to give a percentage of who I
take us
think is
here, mama.
decent, I would say 80-20. I would say 80% of men are bogus and bad and are not going to treat you with the way you need to be treated, and 20% are. And so finding that is like a needle in a haystack. So I just know I collectively don't like men in general. I don't even like my father. And I was raised with my father, who was married to my mother. I don't like men at all. So I just want to say that. I just want to say, so not for me. Now, I can't speak for everybody else. I'm just saying me, nah, I don't like none of them. Black men included. But go ahead, sis.
And Trigger, I get that. I feel you. We're on the same page, which is why I'm so like baffled. Like, Triggered, you and I have never had a conversation, but you see me in your comments. You see me like your lives. I don't give pick me at all. So sis is
Yeah, yes,
weird.
yes,
But
you do. Girl,
oh wait, I
please.
wasn't finished. I wasn't finished. I didn't cut you
Here's
off.
the thing. No,
I
here's the
wasn't
thing.
finished though.
Hey, I
I
understand
let you
that, but
You
okay.
hey,
guys,
don't.
I
I'm
don't want
triggered, but
you.
I can't finish.
Just a
So go
second, you
ahead.
guys. I don't want you guys to I like I said, I know we're black women and we're not a monolith and we're not always gonna agree and we're gonna have let me block this person, the DOD, whatever. Get out of here. You got freaking what you call it as your profile. You're a lame and a loser. Get out of here. Bye bye. But yeah, I don't want us. I want us to be able to have a conversation and disagree, but then we still can respect each other. So if you could just let Shades finish her thought, and then you can rebut back to her. Go ahead and finish, Shades.
I really don't even have an issue. I think she got triggered because she mentioned me or responded to what I said in the comments, and it was a while ago, but something along the lines of I was replying to what you said, Triggered, because you said something about like black men. I mean, if you're gonna date black men, make sure they don't look a certain way, make sure they have themselves together, da da da. And I said in the comments, yeah, like it's not just about dating black men. If you're gonna date a black man, make sure it's of quality. Make sure you don't disregard the red flags. She responded to me and said, "Well, women need to be dating men of all races, not just black men." And I wasn't triggered. I thought it was. I mean, it made me giggle a little bit because to me it was just like, okay, sis, like we get it. Like you don't want to date black men or black men aren't your preference or like what you got going on. We get it. I wasn't saying anything because I was triggered. I wasn't even upset. Like I put an LOL to lighten the mood. I think she just wants to be upset, and I think maybe her calling me triggered or calling me a pick me makes herself feel better. I don't know, but I'm none of those things. I'm not even mad. I'm not even upset. She's like, I don't even understand the issue, but yeah, I can't stay up here long because I have to get back to work. But
Okay,
yeah,
but
I
can
don't
I
want to
respond
trigger.
though?
I live.
Can I respond?
Okay, you know what I wanted to say, you guys. I know that you guys are two grown black women. Both of y'all are beautiful. I just want to say I think y'all may just have had
I think so too.
miscommunication.
I
Yeah.
think so too. So let me say this real quick, Shade. So someone just brought that up. I wasn't when I initially made when I was talking about pick me's in the comment section, I wasn't talking about you. There was another lady before you. There was another lady that was on live that she triggered actually, I guess, hung up on. Remember? That's who I was referring to. So when I was speaking about her, I started speaking about the entire group of pick me's, black women that always want to put black men first. I responded to you only when I saw you make a comment, which Trigger was already talking about how black women need to stop telling the world how much they love black men. Remember? Remember when Trigger kept saying we need to stop openly telling the world how much we love black men? Because you came in the comment section and said, I love black men so much. That's why I sent the comment to you like black women need to be open to all races. That's why I said, okay, we have a pick. That's when I was looking at you like, okay, we got to pick me because she's not paying attention to what Triggered is saying. Stop telling the world how much you love black men. That is a problem. And that is why black men are the way that they are. That's why they don't want to do better. They don't feel the need to do better because black women steady want to shout out to the world how much they love black men. So that's where it started at. That was what I saw. But I was not initially
So
talking about.
you were triggered by me saying that it's okay to still love black men because that's pretty much all I heard from what you
Wait,
just
I
said.
still
You were
Shades,
triggered by what I said,
I
and then I
still date
guess you
black
took.
men.
Wait,
And the
wait,
fact that
wait,
you keep
sis. I
saying
just heard you.
privilege, the
You were
fact
triggered by what I said, and you took that as because you don't know me. You and I have never had a conversation, and I've never really seen you interact in the comments. So you took that as me as you took as oh well I'm a pick me and that. So you were really the one triggered because when you throw words like pick me out there and triggered and like you're sending special shout outs to me, that's showing you're triggered.
that's
But
what we
I
call
don't, just like
black
Trigger
women
said,
who
I
are
don't like
picky.
going back and forth with black women. I wait, honey. I didn't mean to offend you, or if you took offense to something that I said, it's water off the bridge. I don't want no issues. I love black men. I love black women. I don't want to beef with nobody. I am not a pick me. I'm far from a pick me. So yeah, I don't want no issues. I
Your
don't want to get
comment
banned
came
from
off.
Trigger's
Your comment
live.
came
I
off
don't
as
want her
picky.
live to get banned. I don't have no
Your
issues.
comment
So
came off as picky, so I said that. That's why I said what I said, and I make no apologies for it. Like I said, I wasn't initially talking about you. I didn't say anything to you until you made the comment. So I was talking about somebody else. So you were
okay,
triggered.
well, I'm not looking for an
Okay,
apology,
so
but I'm
it's all
glad we
good.
cleared
It's
that
all
up,
good.
and I will go ahead and enjoy the rest of my day. Triggered, you're awesome. I'm such a big fan. I always watch your YouTube channels. I always try to come in and comment and like, as much as I can. So I hope the rest of you ladies enjoy the rest of your day, and y'all have a good one.
All right, all right, all right, all right. I appreciate it. I'm glad that you guys were able to, even if y'all don't, get everything together, at least y'all are able to, have a discussion, and we were able to, have a good, discussion, go back and forth. Because like I said, I want people to understand that we're not always gonna agree. You know what I'm saying? We're not, as Black women, we're all different, and we all come from different walks of life and have different thoughts and perspectives. But I will say that me personally, I'm not going to ever say publicly that I love Black men as a collective, because first of all, I don't. And number two, I think it's dangerous, because when you are always there for someone, no matter how they treat you, they end up taking you for granted. And that is exactly what we're in the throes of right now, of Black men taking Black women for granted. Can you imagine if there was a hostile space where Black men were talking about Black women and saying about how they needed to, let's say they were saying decenter Black women and we need to stay away from Black women. How many Black men do you think that would get in that panel and say, hey, especially as much as men care and crave for male validation and male attention and male approval, that they would come in and say, well, I love Black women. I love Black women though. I can't stop loving my Black women no matter what. I love them so much. It would never happen. You know what I'm saying? So I just don't believe in Black women doing things for Black men collectively that they would never do for them. Now, like I said before, if you got a Black man in your life and you know what type of man he is and stuff like that, then that's something different. Do that in your private life, sis. But publicly, what I look like, coming up here and saying anything like that. Oh, I love the Black man's skin. I just love the way the strength of, I wish I would. I just wouldn't do it, just because I don't see that energy being reciprocated to black women. Now, if it was, then that would be something different, but it ain't. And it hasn't been done since I've been alive, or my mama been alive, or my granny been alive. I sat there and watched the TikTok of a woman that was at least in her 80s talk about the fact that she got impregnated when she was like 17, and the boy that impregnated her said, hey, I'm not gonna be with you because you Black and burnt and dark, and I got this light-skinned girl that I'm gonna marry instead, so you on your own. And that was a woman that was in her 80s plus. So this whole thing is not anything new. And so the reason why it keeps happening over and over again is because it doesn't matter how many times Black men, sit there and spit in our faces, figuratively or sometimes even literally, we still out here uplifting them. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not trying to say that anybody shouldn't date a Black man if they see one that is meeting the standards that you need, but you also need to open up your eyes and date other races of men as well too, because Black men are never going to take you seriously if they know that you're always going to be the old shoe that they can throw in the back of the closet and then go get it and go put it on and go outside and cut the grass in the backyard. Or they can go outside on a hike and use that to stomp it up and use it up and put it back in the closet. But then when they want to get the pretty thing that they want to take care of, the nice little dress shoes that they wear when they going out, that those are representative of the non-Black woman, we're never going to get anywhere if we keep allowing ourselves to be treated that way. That's all I'm trying to say. Now, of course, I ain't nobody but just a lady on the internet. I can't stop Black women from doing whatever they want to do. I can't stop you from loving Black men. I can't stop you from sleeping with Black men. But all I can say is that I do think that a lot of our problems stem from our constant, giving Black men something that they do not reciprocate collectively. That's all I'm saying. And they'll never respect us until we stand on it and say, hey, no, you gonna give me the respect that I need and the love that I need before you ever think about getting it from me. And that's exactly, I don't be feeling like women, should say I love you to a man first. ill. I don't think you should ever do that. I don't think you should ever ask a man to be yo man. I think that's something that he should ask. I don't think you should ever propose to a man first. I don't believe you should even let a man even know that you even like him before he's already then got on doggone near his hands and knees and told you how much he can't even bear to breathe without you. That's just my opinion. So when I see this whole one-sided love, it just really disgusts me because I don't play games like that with nobody, especially no man. Like, I'm not finna be out here kissing a ring for you, boy. Anyway, let me stop because I'm gonna tell y'all too much of my business. I just don't play like that. And when you don't play like that, I promise you, that's when men come your way. When you don't play like that, the meaner you are, the better, if you ask me. But anyway, let me go down here because these other ladies been. Oh, go ahead quickly, proud black women, so I can get to these two ladies. I've been talking too much.
I just want to say this real quick. Just and that's my point. We just gonna speak about me real quick, and this is why I like your live so much, and I want people in here to understand Black women. Triggered and I are on the same page with that. I still date Black men. Those of you who follow me, y'all know that I talk about that all the time. I date all races of men. There's a Black man right now that I'm kind of talking to. Okay, what I was saying was Black women should never get online and start telling the world, and I'm just talking about Black women. I'm not saying no names. I'm talking about Black women just getting online, telling the world how much you love Black men. That shit needs to stop because Black men do not do the same thing in return. I have good Black men in my life that I love. I'm not 100% done with Black men. I know how to choose. I know how to pick them. That's why I ain't nobody baby mama, because I don't play that shit with these dudes. But at the end of the day, Black women need to be open to all races of men. And that's what my entire platform is about. So that is the point. Me and you are always on the same. We are 100% on the same page with that. That's why I love your live so much, because we have the same mindset when it comes to that. I'm not getting on this live. I'm not telling no Black man to his face that I only date him. I'm not telling no Black man that he a Black king. I don't even use that word. Those of you who follow me know I don't even use the word king. I don't call these dudes kings. Kings for what? The majority of Black men are in prison. They ain't doing shit. They don't deserve to be called kings. But I give credit to the Black men out here who are good men. The few that are good, decent men, they do deserve their flowers. And I give that to them, but I'm not going to sit up and give it to all. And I'll make no apologies about that. I'll tell anybody that to their face. So I'll land there. Thank you, Trigger.
Oh, no problem, proud Black woman. I totally get you. I understand where you were coming from. I really did. Let me go down here to everything, then Ivy, and then this is your journey. Go ahead, everything. Sorry for the wait.
Oh no, you're fine. You're fine. I definitely understand everything that you ladies were saying. I'm 33. I have 3 children by 3 different Black men, and this is an accountability while also agreeing with you ladies as well. I've always, before I like woke up to understand what the hell was really going on, I was always doing the whole pick me thing, like, oh, I love me a Black man, Black men, Black men this, Black men that. And when I saw my mom, get done wrong by a Black man who raised me, I have a stepdad, I got a daddy and a stepdaddy, they're both Black. When he told her that he would prefer his Black sons to be with a white woman because they don't nag and they don't argue and they don't fuss, and I saw the look on my mother's face, that's when I knew that we were in trouble. That's what I knew. And that's when I looked at my mom and I was like, well, are you going to leave? Baby, they've been married for 25 years and she still hasn't left. And that's with all of him cheating on her with a white woman, bringing her back diseases from a white woman. And when I ask her, I'm like, cause I'm a leaver. I'm like, mama, you see me. Yeah, I got 3 different baby daddies. But however, I'm a leave. I don't stay. I don't do none of that. Should I have had children with them? No, that's, I got to take that one on the chin. But, I get really irritated with the women when they don't leave, because that sends out a message that to the majority that you can keep doing it, that you can keep disrespecting Black women, that you can keep, just coming in our lives, coming in our homes, coming around our children and showing that y'all dominate while also disrespecting us, and you don't have no love or loyalty to us. You think that we are triggered when you bring up another race or you bring up, especially a white woman. I really just have I really just have a dislike for that. I really have a dislike for that. Yes, I had a good father, but let me tell you what my father said why he finally got married for the fourth time, because he had two children with her, and he feel like he put her through so much and he wants to enter the gates of heaven. So that's why he settled and got married. But if it wasn't for religion, he would have never married that black woman. They don't even sleep in the same room. I mean, in the same bed. They don't even really do things together. So when black women flaunt around that they married and, oh, I got my man, I got this, I got that, really ask yourself, well, why did he marry you? Why are you married? Because even when I hear, I have a lot of brothers, I got a lot of uncles, these men actually tell me a lot of truths. My grandfather, which is my mom's dad, raped my mother from 8 to 11 years old, and then he
That's
told me to
great.
my face why he did that. And
We love
when I
up. Everybody put F1 in the comments.
You gotta say grape.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm
Everything.
so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Disregard that. But when he did what he did to her, and he told me that to my face, when I was old enough to understand what was going on, I really look and I'm just like, wow, we have no protection. Us women have no protection, and it just knowing what I know today, and I have 3 daughters. And knowing what I know today, I'm really upset with black men because I don't have no desire or no attraction to any other race. I couldn't let a white man enter me. I would never do that. And I'm not disagreeing with nobody else. I have a half Chinese nephew. I just said for me, I couldn't let another race enter me. However, I just know that for me, I'm going to be, to myself for the rest of my life, because I absolutely understand black men nature. And I understand their thought process. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, yes, I agree with you. Don't get on no public platform and and gush over no black man and their skin color and all this. Yeah, we find them attractive. We see what we see, but don't let the sex get you crazed. Don't let the sex dilute your fucking mind. Don't let the money, don't let the material things, actually make you dumb. Don't let it make you dumb. Like, really, really work on yourself as a black woman. And if you want to date other races, that is okay. That's fine. But really understand just male nature to begin with, but yeah, I agree with y'all. Don't be up here doing none of that shit for them. Don't do it.
All right, all right. I appreciate you everything. I will say this is that I appreciate you sharing. But one thing that I really still, and this could be spiritual as well. I don't know, you guys. It's something that but the fact that, black women are so extremely loyal to black men when they have never received it is so crazy to me, and it's like, because I just heard you say, you couldn't let anyone else of another race enter you, which is fine. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying anything about that. I mean, I personally, it's just disheartening to hear, only because black men don't have that loyalty. They'll enter whoever, whenever, however, any day, all day, 24/7. They will never think, now it might be a couple spattering of black men out there like that, but really, let's keep it 100. The majority of black men don't care about that. They don't care. They'll put it in anybody. They don't have no type of loyalty to black women. And it's just so upsetting to see, how many, black women still have this deep seated loyalty, to black men, so much so that they wouldn't even entertain or let another race of man touch. You know what I'm saying? Oh, let me respond to YN in the comments. You keep typing majority of black men are married to black women. Can I please tell you the reason why that stat doesn't mean anything? Because number one, black men are the least married race of man. That's number one. Number two, the quickest to make somebody a baby mama and still stay in their house, use up their resources, and not have any ties to that lady. So when you talk about marriage, you're not talking about the many black men that are dating actively non-black women. Why is that a thing? Why do everybody always want to throw it in black women's faces that black men are with non-black women? Huh? So please stop it. You got to stop using that when the majority of y'all don't even get married at all. So you using a statistic that already isn't high to represent the large portion of black men doesn't make any logical sense. And that's why I really feel like some of y'all need to go to freaking school and pick up a book and stop looking at, you know what I'm saying? Y'all know all these stats when it comes to LeBron. You know what I'm saying? How many triple doubles he done made, how many rebounds he got, how long he been in the league, what his net worth is, when he did this, that, and the third. But y'all don't know how to like actually critically think. Like, you say the majority of black women aren't married either, as if that is a dig at black women. Once again, goofball, who controls marriage? Who asks first? Men ask women to get married. So that's not that. What is that? That doesn't mean anything to black women. Now I can see why your name is YN, because you stupid and goofy. Because who in the world would call themselves YN in the first place? Anyway, all I'm saying is that there's no shade to you, you know, sis, everything. I was just saying that it's just, and I know a lot of black women feel that way, you know?
Oh,
Now, you know, so it's
I'm
just,
sorry. I'm sorry to interrupt you. I don't mean
go
to.
ahead, go ahead.
I'm a former correctional officer as well. So I've seen a lot of men of all races do women so dirty. They will be on the phone with their baby mamas and their wives and then turn around and get bent over. So I'm not having I saw someone in the comments saying that I still have a loyalty to black men as to why I won't date outside my race. That has nothing to do with other men. I've done a lot of healing, a lot of soul searching. That's a loyalty to myself. That's with everything that I've learned in my job fields and just being around men of all races. So no, it's not a loyalty to black men. It's a loyalty to myself. I done seen a lot as a correctional officer. So I'm not, you know, on the opposing side either. As far as, you know, and I'm gonna go date women. It's just I'm at peace. I'm really at peace, and I don't discourage nobody from dating, you know, other races or men. I'm just speaking for me. I'm just done with it, and like entirely, I'm done with that. I'm so at peace with myself. I really am.
Okay, all right, all right. Let me go down here to Ivy.
All right. Hello. So I am biracial. I do have a white mom, and I say this because I've noticed that when black men typically date outside their race, for white women, they tend to be conservative or like racist, and they don't know a lot about black culture. So my mom had me until I was 1 year old, and she didn't know how to do my hair. She didn't know how to do any of that. You know, she didn't even properly moisturize me or any of that. So when I got to my dad, I realized as I got older, I was like, a lot of black men choose these white women who don't even know anything about black culture or black women in general or hair or anything. So I had a hard time when I was living with her because my dad got custody of me when I was 5. So I grew up with a white woman calling me the N-word whenever she would get mad and stuff. And as I got older, my dad was like, he told me he did admire black women, but he dated out all races. It wasn't really like just a white thing or a black thing. He said he dated women of color or women in general. And I say this because as I got older, he told me that he had another kid from another white woman years ago. He's a 62-year-old man, 62-year-old black man. And he told me at the age of 19, like 2 months ago, that his son from another white woman came and was looking for him, and it was like, I think he's like 20 or something, 30. I know he's like older than me, but I noticed that like black men, it's not even about being a black woman. They disrespect all races of women. But when it comes down to like, I think they disrespect black women the most. But what I'm going for is like, even my dad abandoned that white woman because he knew that baby was his. He just said he didn't want to pay child support. So that's why he left. So that's why I don't really, like, I'm not used to this behavior from black men. So at the age of 20, it's like I'm seeing all these all you guys' takes, and I was like, you guys have really good advice. So it's really hard for me to not see black men as really good people because of what he told me, but he did raise me. So it's kind of like I do have that kind of respect there. So it's like I do identify as a black woman because of culturally I grew up with black people because my white side of the family is racist. I don't talk to them and none of that. So when it comes down to like culture and stuff, yeah, I think I'm gonna leave black men alone. I mean, I do like black men, but they're not really desired for me, if that makes sense. So yeah, that's really it.
Okay, all right, all right. I appreciate you, Ivy, and I appreciate you sharing. And I'm so sorry that you had to go through that. You know, I have heard what you said though from a lot of biracial women that have come up and said things, which is very unfortunate. I've heard it a lot. And and I think the other lady that left, dang, now I just forgot her name already, man. My mind be going blank. The lady that was just up here, I think her name was Everything. Yes, I just wanted to say to her, appreciate you for sharing as well, Everything. Let me go down here to this is my journey because she been waiting for a minute. Dropping and coming back. Go ahead. This is my journey.
Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, awesome. Everything. I can't remember what her tag was, but I wanted to come back on her really quick with her just saying that she had three baby daddies because I have four, but I married three of them. I was married three times. My last marriage ended very, 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 very badly. They were all black men, and they were all just about the same type of person. So I take accountability for that in the sense that I was choosing the same type of man, which ended, the last marriage ended very, very badly. But the black men today they're all lost. They're just lost. They're lost. And I don't know when they will ever find their way because the YNs are coming up and they're teaching the YNs things that they should not be teaching them. They're learning from the rap music. They're learning from society. Our young girls are learning from society, from the rap music and what's being pushed out on the internet, on social media, on TV, on everything. And the whole generation is just lost. The black men especially are lost, and us black women have to take the brunt of that, of the black men, which is just very sad. The virtual lynching, I've been on a lot of lives, and I pop into them just to see what they're talking about, and it's just all, hate towards black women, and it's just sad. It's terrible. It's terrible. I'm 40. I'll be 47 in September, and it's just getting worse. I don't see there are black men out there. I'm not going to say there are not good black men. There are good black men out there. There's not a lot though. And I'm kind of like you, Trigger. Like I all men are just disgusting at this point in my life. But that's all I wanted to say for that point.
All right. Okay. I appreciate you. This is my journey. I want to ask you guys a question. If you were in a store, right, and there was somebody next to you, and I'm not even going to say any race or male or female. It could be any person that you're thinking of, right? So let's say that you were there, and what happened is they started tearing up the store, like, but nobody saw that it was them. Like okay, let's say you were in a china shop that had a whole bunch of like porcelain pieces and glass, and this person just knocked everything down, right, and broke up everything. And somebody, the owner, came in and said, "Hey, who did this?" And the person said, "Hey, you know what? We both were tearing up the store. Would you just sit there and be quiet, or would you say, no, and that wasn't me, that was that person?" Would you say that? More than likely, you would say, "Hey, no, that wasn't me. That was that crazy person over there that broke up everything." Now, if you are to tell me that you would stand up and say that it wasn't you, then I would venture to say, I would like to ask you why you are not doing that when it comes to the things that are going on in the black community. Because when people come, when you have discussions with white tea people, now I don't have discussions with white tea people about what's going on with the black community. I don't have discussions with white tea people about nothing. But let's say that you do, right? Would they say, "Oh, the black community this, the black community has this crime in it, this black community has this violence in it, this black community has, this lack of education and this, that, and the third"? Why do you as a black woman start talking about it? Why, when they talk about unaliving rates, why are you not separating yourself? I believe in wholeheartedly separating ourselves from these things that are said. Like saying, hey, you know what? That is not us. That is not black women. That is black men. And because anytime there is something positive, and I said this a lot, anytime there's something to be perceived positively that black men think that they are benefiting from, they make sure that they tell everybody that hey, it's for just for black men only. It's just for black men. Like, you know how they always like to lie and say that they are the most desirable. Now they say that they're the most desirable, but yet they're the most discriminated against. They're the most racially profiled. They're the most all of these other things, but yeah, they're the most desired at the same time, which doesn't make any logical sense. But they're very rarely logical. But they make sure that they say, hey, we're the most desirable black men, but y'all are the least desired. Nobody likes y'all. You see how they like to separate? But we don't separate when it comes to all of these horrible things that are going on in the black community. All of these stats, all of these figures, all of these things, we don't separate. So I am wholeheartedly in favor of black women separating and making black men be on their own. Because like I said earlier, black men will never respect black women as a collective until we start doing these things, until we start demanding our respect. For the I at this point, I believe that it's almost like black men are like almost like a comical high school bully, where the only way you can actually take back your pride and your dignity and stand up for yourself and not be bothered anymore is if you stand up and say, you know what, I'm not going to take this anymore. And I really believe that all of these steps, black women backing away from black men, black women not publicly uplifting black men, making it seem like they're the favorite of everything, stepping away from the bad things that are going on in the black community that are caused mostly 90% by black men. If we could start doing these things, we could take back our honor and respect, forcefully. Because in my opinion, we're not going to get respect from black men unless we take it. It's not something that you can ask for. It's the same reason why black men will always be on the bottom. Societal wise, and why they will always be probably have the least resources, because they are not willing to take their respect. They are just begging and asking for it and hoping that one day people are going to give them some type of power, and that's never going to happen, because respect is never given by the oppressor. It is taken by you. You know what I'm saying? And that's all I'm saying. But let me go back up here to the top and let everybody else get a chance to speak again. I'm gonna start with Coach T and then Proud. And let me add somebody else up here too. I'm gonna add Miss Chrissy Bay up here. And there's somebody else in the chat too, Mrs. Chilotan. So if somebody else can drop if they're done, and then I'll add Miss Chilotan up too. But go ahead, Coach T.
Yeah, thanks, Trigger. Hey, Chilla Tim. Hey, all the ladies who just joined in the chat. Make sure y'all keep tapping up the screen. We got 87 people in here. Come on now. We can easily be at 50K for our girl. But I just wanted to say, not to be a plunger and bring up old stuff, but I just wanted to say that I think that for Black women, for us, as we move forward with trying to heal within just us, like just Black women within us, related to your question, I would absolutely tell that it wasn't me in a store tearing up stuff. And I would also add that I tried to stop the person who was tearing up the store. I tried. I asked them why they was doing that. I told them they shouldn't do that. I tried to reason with them. I even tried to tell them, like, well, maybe you should leave the store if you don't want to be here or you don't like it here. But they insisted on staying there in the store and making a mess, because that is what Black women have done. We've tried to be in community with these ruffians. We've tried to be supportive. We've tried to encourage them. We've practiced necromancy, speaking life into unalive bodies. It's not going to work, okay? It's just not going to happen. But I would like to say that for Black women, as we move forward in trying to like heal within ourselves and build our relationships and have our own community, is that we have to start coming to the table and being willing to have conversations in a genuine way, but also in a way where we can be respectful of our differences and acknowledge how something we may have said could have harmed somebody else or could be perceived as harmful. And I said that to say specifically to the young lady who was up here before minding, and then also the other young lady who was up here, Shades. I said in the chat, like, I could see why she picked her name because she was real shady, like very shady attitude. But she came across as like very flippant and very just like, oh, well, like, yeah, I said it, or no, I didn't say it. Like, she came across in that way. And I think that as Black women, or I'll speak about feelings. I feel like as Black women, in order for us to reconnect to not just ourselves, but as a community, we have to start coming to the table with one another in a more respectful, not just respectful way, but in a more responsible and accountable way. Like, if a Black woman is trying to express like, yeah, you know, like, you said something that was harmful, you did something that was harmful, the response is not to like shrug or laugh it off, like, oh, I'm not mad, or like, you know, these are serious conversations and serious topics that we're talking about. So yes, Black women, especially women like Trigger and like Proud Black women whose heart are in the right space and who do want to see better for Black women, and who are every day having these conversations or sharing their story or letting their voice be heard in a way that uplifts Black women. Yes, if you say something that is triggering, you're going to get a visceral response, because these are real topics and these are real conversations. We can't just sit around and pretend like, oh, I'm unbothered. You can be unbothered with these N-words. But when it comes to being in community and building community with Black women, we have to come to the table and be completely honest and be vulnerable with each other in ways that we're willing to acknowledge that, hey, maybe I did say something wrong. Or maybe I did say something that was abrasive or that came across in the wrong way. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing, nobody is going to ever fault you for acknowledging that, you know what, that frame of mind or the way that I said that, or that thing, you know what, I probably shouldn't have said that. Or, you know, this is more like what I mean. It's kind of just like oh, well, I said it and what kind of thing. And like, she apologized, but it wasn't, I didn't feel like it was in good faith, or it didn't come across as sincere, because she then continued in the comments to try to go back and forth with other Black women who were like, yeah, that was kind of like weird that you said it. So it's just kind of like, you can't just say something and then Black women be like, well, wait a minute, what's that about? And then apologize and then be like, oh, well, I apologize. Like, what? You know what I'm like? Yeah, that's not we can't have that. So just for Black women in general, when we have to have these conversations or we have to resolve a conflict, like, let's do it in a more genuine and a less flippant manner. Like, you can tell these N words like, oh, well, so what, I said it is what it is, and laugh it off. But when we as Black women are trying to come to the table and have these conversations and plan and build with one another, we have to be able to build and develop that trust with each other.
All right. I appreciate you, Coach T. I'm gonna go down here next to Proud Black Woman. If you're ready, if you want to speak, sis.
Can you hear me? I'm
Yes,
sorry.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Thank you, Coach T. I really like your comments, and I appreciate you saying that. I just, you know, I think it's like Trigger was saying, you know, we're not always gonna agree. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I've said this, and I'm just speaking. I'm not speaking about any one person. Okay, I'm just speaking. I've said this many times on my platform. As much as I hate, and I literally hate self-hating YNs. I hate them. I wish we could move them to another planet, get rid of them altogether. But I also feel the same way about Black women who continue to put Black men's plight above their own. And those are the women that we call that name, pick me and man me, a woman that's going to choose a man no matter what. I can't stand them type of women. I wish we could also take them and move them to Neptune, get them out of here. I can't stand them. And I would hate for one of them to be directly in my face. Okay, because it's going to be ugly. Police might be called and everything. So I'm very passionate when it comes to that. And I don't apologize for that, because we have to understand as Black women that those type of women are the problem. They are the reason
why black men continue to act the way that they do. So we just have to start being and having real honest conversations. I understand that we're not always going to agree, obviously, but we have to be, black women need to stop being delusional. I did see some comments where, you know, some people were saying, you know, all men are this way, all men are that way. Let's be very clear about something, black women. Every man is capable of harming you. Every man is capable of cheating. Nobody is talking about, look, nobody is saying that other races of men will not do the same things that black men do. Let's be very clear about that. Nobody is saying that. We're not dumb. We've seen the case of, what's the case that black men like to bring up when they like to laugh when black women go outside the race? That pretty girl that was unalived by that white T man when she went on that date with him. What was her name?
Robinson.
Say it again. Her, but it was another one before her.
Robinson, I think.
Yes, she's one of them, but it was that pretty, beautiful, dark-skinned one before her, if anybody remembers her name. Black men like to always bring her up. So we know that every man is capable of harm. I want black women in this live to understand the point that we're making is that black men are more likely. We're not, thank you. Lauren Smith Fields. Thank you, baby. That one. They love to bring her up. You know why? Because she was so damn beautiful. The girl was absolutely gorgeous. Lauren Smith Fields was absolutely gorgeous. And so was Sade Robinson. They both were. But Lauren, I think, happened before Sade. But black men always like to bring that up when we talk about dating outside the race. Oh, be careful. You're going to end up like Lauren. Well, y'all going to end up like Telvin Osborne. Let's play the game then, because we could play it all day. We understand that all men have the ability to harm. We know that. Ain't nobody here that dumb to think that a white T man, a Hispanic man, an Asian man cannot hurt you. What we're saying is who is more likely. That is what these discussions are about. They are about who is more likely to harm you. And the truth of the matter is, y'all, it is black men. It doesn't matter whether you like that or not. That is a fact. That is a statistical fact. The other day, I was followed by a Hispanic man. I actually have a video because I took a video. I was going to post it. Y'all want me to post it? I took a little video of him. Girl, he was following me around in Walmart, y'all, and he was recording my booty. Yes, he was. Because when I show the video will show you where his phone was looking, and I was able to record him. And I was literally talking in the video, and I was like, nigga, I see you. Now, this was a Hispanic man. Now, he went on about his business. But my point is typically, and I'm sharing my personal experience. So I don't argue personal experience. Let's be very clear about that. When black men have done that, oh, baby, they continue. And then I have to end up saying something. And then when I stand up for myself, then that's when they want to get aggressive. You see the difference? Do you see the difference? Like, I've had Asian men. I've had an Asian man that wanted to be black. He was one of those, you know, you could tell he was from the hood. Tried to holler at me at a Walmart, maybe about, I would say 6 months ago. Acting ghetto. And of course he got declined because I don't date that kind either. I don't date wannabes. Okay. I date all races of men, but if you coming up to me trying to act like you want a YN, you gonna get, I don't care what color you are, you gonna get tossed to the side. But when I rejected him, he went on about his way. I have had Indian men approach me. When I rejected them, they went on about their way. Do y'all understand what I'm saying here? When I rejected black men acted a fool. Black men got aggressive. Black men wanted to make a scene. Black men wanted to show me, how dare you reject me? I'm a black man. I own you. Because that's how they see us. So we have to stop acting like, and that's why I said trigger many times. That's when I showed them what I had on my waist and was about to use it. That's when they got out of my face. They literally left but I had to show them that I will put you on your back. I had to show them that. So we are talking about who is more likely to harm black women. We're not saying that all men, these other races of men are any better. Nobody is saying that, because I've seen that in the comments. Some of y'all are saying that. Nobody said that on this live. What we're saying is black men, when it comes to harming us, when it comes to abusing us, when it comes to who's more likely to make you a baby mama, it is black men. And whether you want to accept that or not, that's you. You can stay in your delusion. But that is the reality of what we're dealing with. And I will land there.
All right, all right. I understand what you were saying, definitely, and I definitely agree. And once again, for anybody that would take any issues with Proud Black Woman's statements, like her statements are rooted in fact. It's rooted in fact. It can't be debunked. It can't be argued with. And Sriracha, I'm gonna talk to you, Sriracha, and also you, Cruising Altitude. Both of y'all have either one of y'all to send me a request to get in this box. Y'all have 10 seconds, or y'all gonna get blocked because y'all talk about proximity. And this is how I know that y'all are totally uneducated. Because if you talk about proximity, right? Why is it that the white T men or the Asian men or the white T Hispanic men that are in proximity to their women, how come their rates aren't nearly as high? Huh? Think about that, please. That is not y'all rates. The rates are not as high. They are extremely high in the Black community. When you look at things, which you want to say proximity, Black women are 6 to 10 times more likely to be unalived by a man than any other race of woman in the United States. Okay? And 95% of the time, when they're being unalived, it's by a Black man. Why are our rates so high? So when you use words like proximity as a buffer to reduce the severity of what is happening to Black women, you are a disgusting, disgusting human piece of scum, because it has nothing to do with the topic at hand. So hopefully I helped you out today to give you a piece of information to help you critically think. But for the life of me, I can't, somebody that has a picture of an animal as their profile, I'm not really thinking that you have the ability to critically think. But anyway, let me move forward to Gabrielle. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. Were you saying something or?
Oh no, I was just saying, go ahead, sis.
Oh, okay, yeah, thank you. Yeah, no, I really think Proud Black Woman made a lot of great points. Like, at the end of the day, like, the statistics do support what she's saying, and I also agree with her earlier. I don't remember the lady who she was talking with. I really don't remember the lady's name, but I do think that it is, in 2025, weird to come on the internet and collectively declare, oh, I love this demographic of man, whether it's BM, whether it's Latino men, whether it's white T. Like, I just think when you look at the state of men in general and how they are, collectively speaking and acting towards women, and in many cases voting, because even in the election, you get some BM who are saying, oh, well, I just don't think, a woman should be, president or whatever. I'm not even gonna get into the whole political, that's an entirely different conversation, but that's just an example of how men collectively are behaving. So it's just weird to me in 2025 to be coming online and like declaring your love and saying, oh, I love them. It's like, yeah, like on an individual level, like if you have like a boyfriend or a husband who's great to you, that's fine, that's your man. But I do think it's weird to do that, and I also agree with Proud Black Woman where she was saying that, like, in most cases, BM do pose a greater threat. And obviously, it's not saying that like every other demographic of man is great and can't do harm, because we know that that's not true. But again, the statistics support what she's saying. And again, this is why me personally, I don't date or deal with BM. And that's why and then I know she was talking to the other lady, because the other lady kept saying to Proud Black Woman, oh, we get it, you don't date BM. And I thought maybe she was confusing what Proud Black Woman was saying with me, because I said earlier in the chat I don't date BM, so I don't get why she kept saying to Proud Black Woman, we get you don't date BM, but that was me who said that. But yeah, I really just think Proud Black Woman made a lot of great points. I do think that dealing with men, period, in 2025 is so important to have discernment. It's so important to know, the red flags and like the signs that you just should not deal with a guy or let him have access to you. And yeah, that's just my thoughts.
All right. I appreciate you, Gabrielle. All right, so I'm gonna go down here to Miss Chrissy Baby and then Chilotam. Go ahead, Miss Chrissy Baby.
Hey, I dropped because the landscapers, they were wilding by my window. It was really loud. Um, Now, I want to preface what I'm about to say with I am not saying we should care about what other communities and races are thinking, because I know that will come up with, I'm going to say anecdotally. I am not saying we should care. But what I am saying is if we notice that we are publicly humiliated, humbled, and talked about and disrespected, I wish Black women really understand how everyone else sees it. I can say that I'm blessed that I lived in a multifaceted environments. I grew up in the urban environment. I was in the military and stationed in different places. My job affords me to be in different states, different communities, different type of people. And I'm telling you, I don't understand the loyalty and the allegiance because everyone in the room knows that they do this to us. Like, there's been multiple times from my 19-year-old working life to where I'm at 45, where it'll be like a private secret conversation where it's just like, why Black men don't want to date Black women? And I'm like, I don't know. You can't, back in the day, you can't generalize. You don't know that. But you know what I mean? Like, or the Black men will openly with other races of men fetishize and over sexualize Black women in front of their faces, but talk about wifing up another race all the time. I've been in these environments all the time, and maybe that's why I'm so radical, because I've seen how many times we get thrown under the bus. I've seen plenty of times where there's workplace abuse amongst the only one Black woman, or maybe one and two, and there will be Black men sitting around and doing nothing to protect her. I've been in environments to where you're in the neighborhood and you walking down the street and you're 10 years old being catcalled, and not one grown man is like, hey, don't do that. That's a baby. That's a child. So I think I just happened, and I'm gonna say it's a blessing. It's a blessing that I had the rose-colored glasses taken off. And no, it don't make me bitter. No, it don't make me biased. But this is a fact. We're not the only. If we feel this and we see this, and this is happening in the public, please don't think other communities and other races aren't saying the same thing. So why are we publicly pledging allegiance to our counterpart when they're absolutely in private, public, online, at work, whatever, are not doing that for us? That's all.
All right, all right, all right. I appreciate you, Miss Chrissy, baby. I definitely understand where you're coming from. I did want to say real quick, I think it was a response to everything in the comments. She mentioned that, mothers, like, not treating their daughters right and competing with their daughters and things of that nature, us breaking, I guess, the cycle. And I just want to say, definitely, I was a victim of that with my mother, who was definitely tried to compete against me, tried to, purposely sabotage my life and a whole host of other things. And it was so bad for me that I don't speak with her anymore. I don't have any contact with my family at all. I don't talk to my father. I don't talk to my mama. I didn't talk to my grandparents while they were living. They recently passed, both of them. The ones that I talked to or that I had the most contact with were the ones on my mother's side. Don't talk to them. Don't talk to the ones on my father's side. I don't talk to my cousins. No, nobody. I have literally no contact with any family other than the family I created, which are my two daughters and, my husband. That's it. I don't talk to any of my family, and it's all, they would talk to me. I don't talk to none of them. So I told myself that me personally, that I would break the cycle when it came to my daughters, that I would love on them, that I would assist them, that I would always make them feel great about themselves. I would, one of my daughters is a teenager, that in her, as she gets older and gets into adulthood, that I would give her great advice, help her, tell her not to send her boys. Don't worry about them. Worry about yourself. Put yourself first. Go help you get, the best education you get so that you can get as much money as possible so that you can be independent and not have to depend on no man for nothing. Like all of these things. I personally, I can't speak for every Black woman. All I can do is say that I'm doing my part to break the cycle as far as it comes on how I handle my daughters. You know what I'm saying? And letting them know that you don't let nobody play with you. And I think that the biggest, the biggest example or the biggest thing that you can do for your daughters is to live what you say. Because you can't tell them don't let no man treat you no type of way, or you supposed to be looking for a man to treat you like a queen. And then you got a man at the house with them that don't treat you like that. How they're going to follow your actions way before they follow the words that come out your mouth. So me personally, my daughters have not seen anything but my husband uplift their daddy, uplift me, treat me like a queen, pay all the bills, go to work every day, never raise his voice to me, call me out my name, knock my head between the washer and dryer, do none of that. And they also know that I don't play none of that. They already know how I get down. So I think those are the biggest things that you can do for your kids, and specifically because I'm not really speaking about any of this from a male perspective, even boys. You know what I'm saying? Not that I don't care about little black boys, but I'm not. My focus is only really on black women and black girls. If y'all want me to be honest, So that's the best thing that you can do for a black girl. That's the best thing that you can do for black women, is to be an example and live the life truthfully that you talking. And I don't mean come on here and lie and cape like that lady Isis did, that was following Shira 7 and was telling women that how that you could get money, you could do this, all the while her husband was touching on them kids and she was doing anything and everything to keep that man money. I'm not talking about fake living. I'm talking about really living what you say to people, because that will come through and that will resonate, and you can help somebody. You can help a black woman or a black girl. That's all I'm saying. But let me go up here to Chilotan. Go ahead, Chilotan.
Hi, Triggered. Hi, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, awesome. I'm actually I'm actually at work and I just checked TikTok real quick to see if you were live and I was lucky once again, so thank God. Okay, so there is a point, or there are several points that I wanted to bring up as everyone was talking, because there's something I've noticed very recently, and it's that the more that women, or let me say Black women, are getting educated, getting their money up, and just, cleaning up their lives and just wanting better for themselves, I see like a stark what's the thing? I see a stark difference between that and what the men are doing, and how they keep pushing this whole trad wife thing. And trad wife in the sense that, oh, just stop everything you're doing, let the man just what's the word, provide for you. It's almost like they feel threatened that women are now being more independent. And to that, I just want to say that, don't, and I'm pretty young. I'm just 26, but I have a lot of elder siblings, and I have four elder sisters, and I learned a lot from them. Most of us have our master's degree. I just got my master's degree this year. And I just wanted to say that, don't let anybody trick you out of going to school or telling you that school is a scam, because I see people saying that very often. And I feel like it is a ploy to get women to be less educated, less exposed, less independent. And I don't see it ending well. My second point is that I think you mentioned something about how you teach your daughters and how you want to be there for them and everything. There's something that happened very recently. One of my cousins posted something on we use WhatsApp where I'm from. So she posted something on her WhatsApp status, but you can think of that as like an Instagram story. And they were doing some kind of rally. She's still in college, she's in her third year. They're doing some kind of rally, and then the theme of the rally was stop indecent dressing, and they had like huge banners of women dressed in quotes. I use this very lightly, in quotes, indecently. And I messaged her and I was like, okay, what's this about? And who chose this topic? Like, tell me what's going on here. And then she started going on and about how they wanted to just send a good message. And I just said that you live, my cousin, most of my family still lives in Nigeria, but I live in the United States right now. And I said, you currently live in Nigeria, in a society where you are not even seen as a human being, but you still but you still think it's such a good idea to go out and denigrate other women simply because you don't agree with their lifestyle. Now, don't get me wrong, I love to dress sexy as well. I see nothing wrong with it to some extent, but where my decency starts is where someone else's decency stops. Do you understand what I mean? So I had to educate her out of that and say, look, you need to learn female solidarity because the men you're doing this with would never do this for you, if that makes sense. And that's something that I've had to learn as I got older. Because I think I said this in the last live I was in, that I grew up in a very, religious environment, and that has shaped most of my views. I still hold on to those views. But at the same time, I've had to divorce myself from the concept of centering men in everything and just antagonizing the women in my life, including my mom. And I'll get to that. My third point is that as I get older, I see the importance of looking up to and listening to older women, older Black women in my life, be it here in America and even back home in Nigeria. When we were younger, obviously, my mom wouldn't tell us all the problems she was having, but now as we've gotten older, she's more open with us. So now we kind of understand where she's coming from. And I have more grace for her because she also grew up in a time where all they knew was, just get married, worship a man, your husband will do everything for you. And while there's some good parts of that to aspire to, in the grand in the grand scheme of things, it just doesn't really benefit her or benefit us to go in that direction. So I'm very lucky to even to even have access to spaces like this, because I used to be so clueless. I remember when my best friend first told me about decentering men, I was like, oh, what's that? I never knew what that was. But now I'm really taking advantage of my environment because I've learned, and I'm living in this country as well. I think that Black women have been some of the most, I don't even know the word to quantify how kind they've been to me. Like, okay, for instance, I went to the gym. I usually go to the gym. I'm very active. Last week Thursday, and this woman was in the parking lot. I was trying to scan my ticket, but it wasn't working. So she asked me my first name. I said my first name is Chidotam, and she said, oh, do you get offended if people don't pronounce that properly? I said, no, really, because like I live in a country where people don't speak my language, so it would be silly for me to get offended. But then she told me that, okay, that she understands that, but I should just always make sure that people pronounce my name, at least make an attempt to pronounce my name. And she was a Black woman. And what she did, I don't think she knows this because I couldn't tell her this. There are people behind me, but what she did really went a long way. She didn't know she made my day. Do you understand? And that has always been my experience. And I'm glad I'm experiencing this because back then, when I lived back home, I would see all these videos about people saying Black women were this and that, like calling, like saying they're ratchet, and just saying all the quote unquote negative stereotypes that the media has out there. And I'm ashamed to say that I used to believe that, but I'm glad that my reality has changed. And now I'm using my position right now to, change that narrative in the ways that I can. So for instance, if I have quote unquote male friends or male acquaintances who say colorist things around me, in general, I don't tolerate colorism. And I think that's also another reason why sometimes Black men tend to couple up with women from other races. Colorism has a huge part to play in that because they don't like themselves. They don't like what they look like. I saw a video of Kodak Black saying, I'm so sorry I'm going on so many tangents, but I'm at work. I'm trying to get all my thoughts out. I saw a video of Kodak Black saying that he
I'll
is
give you 3 more
already.
minutes, sis.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you. I saw a video of Kodak Black saying that he is black as F, right? And so why would he want to marry someone else who is black because they're going to have a black ass baby? And it was really, it's so heartbreaking for me to see stuff like that because you just see how, slavery and colonialism has gone such a long way. Um, but that's neither here nor there. Another point that I have is that I've learned to be more patient, I guess, with Black women. I'm very slow to demonize or to, antagonize. I'm gonna say demonize, that's a really strong word. But I'm slower to antagonize Black women in general because as I've gotten older, I've seen how women are often pit against each other, and it doesn't really help in a society where you have people who are constantly trying to take us back to the times when women didn't have any rights, if you know what I mean. I have a niece as well. Today is even her birthday, and she's a dark-skinned, very beautiful dark-skinned girl. I remember when she was growing up, she's a teenager, but when she was much younger, she would talk to me about how she didn't like her skin color. And this was before she was 10 years old. And I had to ask myself, what have you seen at the age of, let's say, like 5 or 6 or 7 to warrant this type of thought? And I had to, that was when that's when I started being like really awake to colorism and stuff like that. So I had to go to Instagram and show her pictures of dark skinned models just so that she could understand that people who look like her also exist, and there's nothing wrong with having a different skin tone. I'm also very passionate about colorism in general because I just think it's such a low IQ problem, and I see it a lot in black men, in Nigerian men, black men here in America, and it's so disgusting. And I just think that's one of the fundamental reasons for why they act the way they do towards black women. Um, but that's all I had to say. Thank you so much for the space. I always learn from all the ladies you have up here. I know you guys are like twice twice my age, so I'm kind of always nervous when I when I have to speak. But thank you for the platform and thank you for everything you do.
No problem, no problem. You gotta trade easy with the twice your age. That make me feel old. I'm just playing.
I'm sorry.
Oh no, I'm just
No,
playing with you. I'm just playing. I'm
it's
just playing.
I want to get to where you are. I
Oh
don't
no, no,
age
no. I'm
shame,
just
okay?
playing with you, girl.
Okay.
I'm really joking. I'm just messing with
Thank you.
you. I'm really just playing.
Coach
Um,
T.
but no, yeah. I mean, I appreciate everything you guys are saying, and I hear everything that you guys are saying. I just hope that like I said, that's why I always say 50-50. Like, I believe that 50% of the women, that of black women understand all of these things. I believe that 50% of us understand proud black women wholeheartedly, understand Chilotam wholeheartedly, understand Gabrielle wholeheartedly, understand Miss Chrissy Baby wholeheartedly, understand me wholeheartedly. But I do believe it's another 50% that are like, I don't know, trapped into some type of world of delusion and not living in reality. And I think that I don't know how we can get them on board because I believe that they are detrimental, basically, essentially, to the black community. And I don't even want to say the black community. Let me just stop saying that and say detrimental to us as black women. But I'm gonna get out of here, you guys, because I gotta go do something. But if anybody had anything to say before I get out of here, speak now or forever hold your peace. Cause I gotta go, but I will try to come back though. Proud black women. Did you have anything to say, sis, or Gabrielle, or Miss Chrissy, baby?
Yeah, I just once again just want to say thank you for always allowing me to join in on your platform, and thank you for the black women in the chat. I hope that we were all able to say something that made some sense. Like I said, we're not always going to agree, but black women, we need to, if we want to see change, we have to do something different. We have to remember that we want to see change, right? So we have to do something different, and and part of doing something different is changing your mindset. So, and that's going to help us all in the end. So I appreciate being a part of this. Triggered, you're awesome. You're amazing. You stand on business. And I want to say one more thing. And I'll give an example just really quick, black women. I want you to understand that when you are dealing with black men and you are not putting them on a pedestal, they actually respect you more. I want you to know that. And I know that because I'm seeing that right now with this young man that I'm kind of talking to. I mean, we'll see where it goes or not. But he understands. I've already told him to his face, I date all races of men. I'm not a ride or die. And I will block you immediately. And let me tell you something, those three things, when I say he all up in my face, so this is why I want y'all to understand, when you stand up for yourself and when you show a man, regardless of color, that you put yourself first and that he's not going to be able to run over you because you just think he's so amazing because he's 6'2", dark skinned with dreads. I promise you that is what makes you more attractive to a man, and that will make him in turn respect you more. Not sitting there telling him how much you think he's a king, not sitting there telling him that you're willing to do anything for him. It is the opposite. And I am a woman in my 40s, and I can tell you from experience that it is the opposite. They respect you more when you stand on business. You become more attractive. So black women, get out of this mindset thinking that you have to chase the black man and build up his self-esteem. No, you need to be building up your own self-esteem, and you need to do that in front of him.
Do that in front of him. Let him know that you're not to be played with, and watch how you get a different response. I really hope Black women understand that. Thank you again, Triggered. I appreciate you. And to all the ladies on the panel, I love y'all.
No problem, no problem. And I definitely agree with Proud Black Woman. And I just want everyone to know, I can't speak for everybody else on the panel, even though I think that they'll be in agreement of me, that these lives are never to meant to be rooted in hatred towards anyone, not even hatred towards Black men or men in general. But I think to be aware of men's nature or how men generally behave is to be educated as a woman to be able to protect yourself. Like living in delusion and truly believing that, it's hatred to say that, the majority of men do a certain type of thing or a certain type of action. I don't think that that's hateful. I don't think it's hateful to be a Black woman and acknowledge that the Black community has never been in a position to where it served the women that were upholding it and building it up. I mean, that's just the fact. Like, I don't know how anyone cannot look at historical context and not objectively see that that is the case. In what time or what world were Black women centered and uplifted and protected by the community that they have been willing to live and unalive by? Never. And so at this point, I do think that it's in Black women's best interest to put themselves first. I think it's in Black women's best interest to say, hey, you know what? You cannot have access to me unless you are worthy. You cannot have access to me unless you have something to offer me, because literally every other race of woman does that and is praised for it, except for Black women. Black women are the only one told that we're supposed to accept a man that is in the gutter at his absolute worst. And what's even crazier is that Black men do not, practice those same moral values, because you think about what Black man at the top of his game that has a job, has a car, has his place to live, has everything going for him, is looking for a bottom of the barrel woman that he is not attracted to and does not want. No, he's looking for somebody that he feels like is on his level. However, when a Black woman is on the level, she is the one that is encouraged to date beneath, date underneath, date someone that's not on her level, that is nowhere near where her trajectory of her life is going. And that to me is extremely problematic, that Black women are brainwashed to do that. And I don't think that there's anything wrong with, addressing these disparities and saying, hey, Black women have got to stop putting their lives, so to speak, in the hands of a Black man. Now, once again, individually, if you have a Black man that you love and he is doing everything that he needs to do, then that's a different conversation. But if you're a Black woman collectively putting your life and you're thinking that the collective of Black men are supposed to lead you, I really think that you might need to, I'm not trying to be funny, but you've definitely got to educate yourself. You should go to the library. It's free wherever you're at, and get you a library card. And there's a lot of books that you need to read. And even if you don't want to do that, there are a lot of books and documentaries that you can read online on your phone that will show you why that is not only, insane, but it's also illogical and irrational with the history of what has happened to Black women, honestly. So that's all I'm trying to say. But like I say, I'm not trying to hate on nobody. I'm just saying, men bank on, preying on your emotions. That's why when broke Black men get with Black women that have something to offer, their first motive is to get them in the bed. And so that they can try to, put it on them as much as they can to get that woman to be living in her emotions and not think logically like, hey, this man is stealing all my resources. Hey, this man is using me up. He wants to get an emotional response from you. And that's really what essentially the collective of Black men do right now to keep Black women still publicly uplifting them, still talking about being led by them, still acting as if Black men are even in a position to lead. And, dare I say, if you are a person that's into finances, right? And you're trying to, I don't know, be in the stock market, or you're trying to invest here, you're trying to invest there. And somebody says, hey, I got the tools to tell you what to do. And you look up and they're homeless or they're broke or their account says -0,000, you're going to tell those people, get away from me. Why? How are you going to advise me on any type of finances or money and you don't have anything? So my thing is that what have Black men led successfully that would make you feel like they're supposed to be the leader over you? You talking about we need our Black men for leadership. From what? What have they showed you that they can lead? What do we have? Where are our hospitals? Where are our schools? Where are our sections just for us? Where is the protection factor from us where they're standing up for us and doing this, that, and the third? Where have they proven to you with numbers, stats, not your feelings, how you feel about a black man? What have they proven to you in their actions that they are fit to lead? Huh? Huh? Answer that. Think quickly. So my thing is this is that in no other way, in no other arena would that be tolerated. Anybody that tried to come at you that was completely inexperienced and had nothing to show for it, you wouldn't let them lead you nowhere. You wouldn't even let somebody do your hair that had no experience doing hair. If you, let's say you was about to get married, or you had an event to go to, or you was about to go to a concert and you needed to go get fly. And somebody said, hey, I ain't never did hair a lick in my life, a lick of my life. I don't have any experience. I don't have nothing to show for it. I don't have no profile of pictures that you can see of hair that I've done. Would you let them do your hair? No, you wouldn't. Would you let them do your nails or your toes? No. But you wouldn't let that happen. But you willing to let men that have literally led nothing successfully lead you? And then y'all think that we crazy, the women on the panel, for saying that that's not something that you should let happen? Like, that's why I say that black men prey on your emotion and this type of unreasonable worship that you have for them. Once again, that they do not reciprocate, mind you. I just think about that. That's why I always try to have these conversations from a fact-based lens, because once you actually look at it rationally and factually, there's no way you can disagree with Proud Black Woman. There's no way you can disagree with me. There's no way you can disagree with Gabrielle. There's no way you can disagree with Miss Chrissy Baby. There's no way you can disagree with us if you think about it from a logical lens. There's no way. But anyway, I'm gonna let Gabrielle speak and then I'm gonna get up out of here, y'all. Go ahead, Gabrielle.
Yeah, thanks, Sugar. It's always great to catch these lives. I think that you have great and interesting conversations, and it's always amazing to listen to all the other ladies who come up. And so, yeah, I just wanted to say thanks, and I hope I catch your next live.
Trig, can I say something before you leave? Before you leave, please.
Yeah. I'll give you 2 minutes, okay? Because I gotta go, sis.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine. So I wanted to reply somebody in the comments that was asking if I like if I'm black. I mean by American standards, yes. But at the same time, I try not to claim what is I don't know how to say this because it's like I'm constantly in limbo about it, right? It's like if somebody sees me before they hear me speak, they just assume I'm black until they hear my accent. So by American standards, I would say that, but ethnically, I'm Nigerian, and I only make that differentiation because where I come from, like we don't really think too much about race. Like race is not really a big thing out there because 99% of us are black. We segregate each other for the lack of a better word, based on our tribes or based on our culture or based on religion. So I just wanted to make that clear. When I say like I admire black women, I'm not trying to separate myself from black women in America, but at the same time, I understand that there is a time and place, and black women here or black people in America have their own culture, which is different from the culture that I come from. So that's why I try to make that distinction. It's not about like oh no, I'm not one of them. No, it's not that. It's I'm trying to be respectful. Just wanted to put that out there.
Oh, no problem, Chilo Tam. I definitely get nothing but respect and great vibes from you. I understand everything that you said, and I definitely don't think that you were being like I totally understand and get you, and everything that you said, I already felt that coming from you. So there's no problem. But if anybody said anything to you to make you feel some type of way in the chat, I didn't see it. But don't do that to her. She's very respectful girl, and she's here a lot, and
No,
so don't. But because I didn't see the conversation or
oh no,
interchange
no,
of
no.
that.
No, no, no. No, she didn't say anything disrespectful. She was just trying to clarify. Like she was asking me a question, so I wanted to give some more context to what I was saying.
Okay. All right, then I got you, sis. Then no problem. Then okay, then everything's going smoothly. All right, because yeah, I want everybody to feel, sometimes we as Black American women, we may have to have a chat and a discussion about what just affects us personally, but I still I have love for all Black women. You know what I'm saying? And I'm open to hear all Black women's perspectives most of the time, unless it's something that I feel like is really relegated just to Black American women. So I just want to say that I love all of my sisters. All right. But I will see y'all later. I'm gonna get up out of here, and I want to thank once again all of the lovely, beautiful ladies that came on the panel today and spoke. I appreciate all of y'all, even the ladies that I may have disagreed with a little bit. I still appreciate all of y'all as well, because at the end of the day, as long as we move in sisters and sisterhood, we may disagree sometimes. We may have a go back and forth, but at the end of the day, as long as we can come back together and still have fellowship together, then it's all good. All right, I'll see y'all later.
Right, bye, love.
Bye. And I appreciate you so much, Proud Black Woman.
I appreciate you too, my love.
All right,